backdoor, finding McCraven, pass a little high for him. McCraven had a reset, puts it up off the glass, good.
Out to Hallie Crockett, her second baseball pass up the floor to Abby Richmond. Right-handed layup for 2.
Go backing and backing, gets stalled again. And picks up 2 points. So 2-point takedown.
The puck tries to reverse along the boards, taken away by Parker. In front, another goal! Parker tees up Brody Schultz.
Little right-handed dribble, goes to Reichel, deep three-pointer on the way! That's good.
Up the floor, Severson over to Bevins, all alone, steps up, shoots the 3, and it's good.
Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a pleasant good Saturday night for inside the Bismarck Event Center. It's championship night between the number 1 overall Central Cass Squirrels and the number 2 seed here in the 2023 Class B Boys Basketball Tournament in the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. I'm Chase Miller alongside Bryce Laxdell. This is our pregame show, and a reminder of this broadcast has been authorized by special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. Before we dive into our matchup and hear from head coach Matt Norman and get to our American Crystal Sugar starting lineups, let's take a look at what happened earlier today in the state tournament. In the 7th place game, Medina Pinger Buchanan defeated Warwick 66-51. Medina Pinger Buchanan led by Joshua Mosier with 29 points, and Ryland Wick added 21 in the contest for the Thunder. In the consolation championship, you heard it earlier here today on yourliveevent.com, Thompson with the 72-61 win over Powers Lake Burke Central. The Thompson Tommies were led by Jake Starkovich with 26 points, and Mr. Overby had 22 for the Thompson Tommies. So 5 goes to Thompson, 6 goes to the Ranchers, 7 the Thunder, and 8 to Warwick. In the 3rd place game, Beulah upended Des Lacs Burlington 66-57. It was balanced for the Miners, 5 players in double digits, while Carson Yale had 34 points, which matches Joshua Mosier with the most points in the tournament so far for a single game. What's at stake now for Shiloh and Central Cass? Shiloh has never won a state championship. They were there last in 2019, finishing runners-up to the Thompson Tommies. Well, for the Central Cass Squirrels, trying to do something they haven't done in 55 years, and that's win a Class B boys basketball title. Last time they did so was back in 1968. Shiloh got here with a 69-38 win over Powers Lake Burke Central, then a 65-61 overtime win over the Beulah Miners. Well, for the Central Cass Squirrels, a 58-46 over Warwick in the quarters, then a 64-57 win over Lax Burlington last night, about 24 hours ago here in Bismarck. Again, Chase Miller, Bryce Laxdall with you here. Bryce, early keys to this one as he dive into this matchup from where we were about 22 hours ago when we found out that the Squirrels and the Skyhawks were going to play for the state title.
I'm really excited to see how these teams can control the pace of play. If you're Castleton, you really are going to want to pressure the Shiloh guards up top. You saw the last 3 minutes of the game last night in overtime, but Beulah is able to erase that 10-point deficit, force overtime, and they did that by the pressure up top and turning Shiloh over. I think if you let them set up their offense, throw that high-low, give it to those 2 big boys down low, they have the ability to score in bunches. They had 20 and 21 last night. So if you're Castleton, you have to control the pace of play. You have to push it. You have to turn them over. And I'm excited to see if they're able to do that. I think pace of play, just like the Region 1 championship, is going to be huge.
And the one thing here on top of that, to kind of go to your point, is it the guards, number 1, the Cobbervigs against the Kleins? Is it more so the Wilkinson and Wanzik, the big fellas, running that high-low game against a Holzer? What's a matchup early? Because Holzer got in foul trouble last night. They were able to get out of it okay for Central Cass. And a guy that hasn't scored this tournament in Owen Wiersma, Bryce, might not need to score tonight, but he might have to do a lot of stuff here for head coach Matt Norman.
Yeah, I think you're going to see, we kind of talked about it earlier, Wiersma and Bussy and Holzer playing down low. And they might have to play more minutes than they're used to, especially Wiersma. He's got that nice body, big, strong kid. He's low to the ground. He can be physical. He can jam people across the lane. It doesn't matter if he picks up a couple cheap fouls. He doesn't have to play 28, 29 minutes. It might be 12 solid minutes where he fouls 5 times. That might be the kind of game they need out of him. 5 points, 5 fouls, 6 rebounds. that could be key tonight.
And the one thing for Shiloh Christian, how balanced are they? Well, really balanced for head coach Brian Miller's team. His starting 5 all average 10 or more points, so you can't just say it's one person on any given day. Shiloh was unconscious against Powers Lakeburg Central, 9 of 15 from the three-point line, but yesterday against Beulah wasn't so much the threes, it was the big man on the inside. For Central Cass, it's been balanced as well. Holzer was the dude back on Thursday with 16 points, 19 rebounds. Sam Covervig missed his first shot of the game, then didn't miss another one yesterday with 26 points, 5 threes on 8 of 9 shooting from the floor. So we go into this one, you would say maybe it's a Dakota, maybe an Eli Boer, someone else potentially a step up. Well, for Shiloh, I just don't know where to say if is it a Wanzik, is it an Emmel, it's a Klein. Both teams, Bryce, I've used the word balance for Central Cass, and you could use the same word for Shiloh this season.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever I can remember seeing a starting lineup all average in double figures in Class B. Usually you get 3 guys, 4 guys if you're really good. They have all 5, and they're all 13 to 10. So how do you take somebody away, and how do you decide who you're going to take away because you have somebody else that can step up? When you're talking about Castleton, we've saw Dakota in the region tournament really play well and can get hot fast, and he really hasn't had to do that much tonight. But I wouldn't be surprised, if he knocks down 3 threes in the first 3 minutes, something like that, and ends with 25, 30 points. He's more than capable of that, and I think Eli Burr is going to get a couple chances tonight to knock down some shots. And you see somebody that can get hot and stay hot easier than anybody else. He's a guy like that. There's a lot of different pieces moving, and it's just going to be, I think, the pace of play, how the officials are going to dictate how they're going to call it. Are they going to call touch fouls up top, or are they going to let it be physical up top and physical down low? I think that all plays a part into it. And however they're going to call it, you have to adjust accordingly, and you just hope that it's consistent throughout the game. And I just think there's so many moving pieces. I'm very excited to watch this game.
Yeah, there's not one storyline. There's a multitude of storylines once you get to this particular contest. Also, tip of the cap to all the parade of champions that were in between the third place and the championship game. Central Cass had a ton of them, particularly on the team side. On the girls side, we know what they did a couple weeks ago in Minot, winning the State B girls basketball title, winning the softball title in Fargo, winning the team all-around title in track and field. Also, Northern Cass volleyball in this very facility went to a 5-setter with Linton HMB. It's same 2 regions battling in boys basketball, Bryce. It's a lot of fun to cap off the winter sports season here in the capital city.
Yeah, hats off to our girls. They get a little revenge for the year before. That I know they're very proud of themselves, and we're very proud of them. And it's nice to see them down here. And then, yeah, you saw a lot of kindred. You saw a ton of Castleton, and you see those same teams over and over again. They put in a ton of work, and they deserve it. So congratulations to all the guys and the girls in the Parades of Champions.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll sit down with the head coach for the Central Cass Squirrels. That is Matt Norman. Talk about this matchup. It's a 25-0 and number 1 seeded Central Cass against a 22-4 and number 2 seeded Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. This is the State B Boys Basketball Championship from the Bismarck Event Center. We'll sit down with Matt Norman next on your live event.
Take a good look at Hillsborough. You probably know that the people are friendly, and you know about the quality of healthcare available at Sanford Medical Center. Maybe you've been to the Hillsborough Sports Complex to cheer on the Burros. Look at the businesses on Hillsborough's Main Street. The Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation provides financial help to local child care providers, and they're interested in supporting local businesses. For more information, contact the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation at growhillsboroughnd.com.
Bank of North Dakota wants you to be confident when it's time to make student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident to calculate the maximum amount of student loan debt that is recommended based on your career choice. You can also learn how to apply for financial aid and get tips to cut education expenses. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident today.
As we continue on our pregame show here today from the Bismarck Event Center, the State Class B Boys Basketball Championship game between the Central Cass Squirrels and the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. 1 versus 2 as the coaches had it voted, and here we are in the championship game. Joining us now, Matt Norman from Central Cass. And Matt, 2 games
to get here. What have you learned about your team on Thursday night and Friday night to get to the last State B Class Basketball Championship as we know it here in 2023?
They're just a resilient bunch. You know, there's been a couple times in both games where we've been down a bit, and we've had to make big pushes to get ourselves in front. And one had to come in the fourth quarter, the other one had to come in the second quarter, and then we just had to, you know, trade leads and take our punches and see how we could respond. So very, very proud of the kids and how they did, but we got to get ourselves locked in and focused for one more.
And that's exactly what Sam Kovarovic said at the very end, saying, hey, how does it feel to get to the championship game? And he goes, feels great, but the job's not done. So obviously you turn your attention to a really good Shiloh Christian team here, inside-out game, some guys that shot the ball extremely well, obviously, on Thursday. So from a coach's point of view, Matt, where do you start with Shiloh? Is it the bigs? Is it the backcourt? What needs to get kind of disrupted, so to speak, here this evening?
They shoot a really, really efficient percentage if you get them in a half court. So we'd like to try to stretch that out, play a full court game, get them running a little tiny bit, and see if we can kind of disrupt their ball handlers and get some good guard pressure. When it comes to, you know, their efficiency inside, it's going to just be tough to compete with that. So we got to make sure that we go out, we attack them defensively in a full court, and hope we can put ourselves in good situations.
And then going through the media timeouts here in a game, how much has the team and yourself as a coaching staff understood its segments compared to a normal basketball game where you can kind of just run up and down the floor, play 6 minutes, maybe call a timeout? How much does that change the complexion of what you've seen here in Bismarck, Matt?
It honestly, it takes a little bit of getting used to. You know, this is the first time we've been here, and thankfully one of my assistants, Jason Belkey's been here often, both with Thompson's and then a couple of years ago he was with our girls as well. And so we just, you know, we talk through these things, but it's a different kind of dynamic. In that first quarter last night, I really loved to use a timeout, but we knew the media timeout was coming. We knew we could kind of get ourselves hopefully reset in enough time to stop the bleeding, and it worked out.
And to get here, to have this be the final game for the seniors, to have this be the final game of this team, what have you seen from November to now that has allowed this team to continue to be even-keeled, have different moments where it's a Holzer, a Dakota, or obviously Sam yesterday coming up in big roles? What has it been from November in practice to where we are now that's allowed this team to get here, Matt?
Just leadership and heart. Honestly, they care a ton about one another. And so every day when we get to practice, they might be chirping at one another, but they care about one another. They want to make sure that we're competitive. They want to make sure that, you know, they pick each other up after they get knocked down. We want to learn from one another and just grow. And throughout the year, they've done a great job of that.
Final thing for you, Matt. I've been continuing to finish off interviews with you saying, what's the one thing that CentralCast must do well? What is the one thing against Shiloh here today that CentralCast must do well?
We've got to make sure that we are creating extra possessions. You know, if they shoot as efficient as they normally do, we need extra looks at the rim. And so we've got to make sure we clear the glass. We've got to increase our deflections in a full court and make sure that we attack offensively and get some paint touches.
Matt, as always, thanks so much for your time and best of luck here against the Skyhawks.
Appreciate it.
That again, CentralCast head coach Matt Norman will continue on our pregame show after this.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
I'm Chase Miller, he's Bryce Laxell, and we'll get to our American Crystal Sugar starting lineups in a moment here between the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks and the CentralCast Squirrels. Bryce, hearing from what head coach Matt Norman had to say, anything you took away from in terms of whether it's the style of play tonight or what it represents here for CentralCast to get to this stage and play against a quality opponent in the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks?
I definitely agree with him on the pace of play. I think that's going to be critical. I think if they're allowed to push the game into an up and down full court battle and pressure Shiloh's guards, I think they got a really great chance of winning. If it's a slow it down, ground and pound, and their big guys able to pass it around inside and get easy touches and easy looks, I think advantage to Shiloh. So I think it's totally contrasting styles of play, and I think whoever can dictate the style of play is going to come out on top.
As we have the lights officially looking like it's a rave inside the Bismarck Event Center. So you know it's time for our American Crystal Sugar starting lineups, quality products, grower owned. Go to crystalsugar.com as the Central Cast Squirrels are the visitors on the scoreboard for the first time in this tournament, clad in their red uniforms with squirrels across the front in white, outlined in black with black numerals outlined in white. For the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks in their white attire with the dark blue and a little bit of gold around the front with Shiloh in cursive in the front. Central Cass at 25-0 on the season, head coach by Matt Norman. His 8th year, 121 wins and 59 losses for Matt Norman. They'll go like this. Starting at a 6'1 junior guard is Carter Dakota with 21 points, 9 rebounds in the tournament. Sam Kovarovic, the 6'2 senior guard, big shot Sam, as Bryce Laxell liked to call them yesterday. 35 points and 8 rebounds in the tournament. Mason Bussey, the 6' senior guard, 21 points and 4 boards. Cole Holzer, the 6'7 junior forward with 29 points and 25 rebounds in 2 games. And Eli Boer, the 6'2 junior guard, 10 points and 5 rebounds here for Central Cats. For Dakota, Kovarovic, Bussey, Holzer, and Boer for the Squirrels. For the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks under the guidance of Brad Miller, no relation, 22-4 on the season. In his 7th season at the helm for the Skyhawks, 137 wins to 44 losses for Coach Miller. They'll go like this. Kyler Klein, the 6' senior guard with 30 points and 12 rebounds. Caden England, the 6'1 sophomore guard with 20 points and 10 boards. Isaac Emmel, the 5'11 junior guard, 14 points and 3 rebounds in 2 games here inside the event center. Atticus Wilkinson, the 6'6 junior center with 29 points and 8 rebounds. And then Jay, his full name is Joseph, but they call him Jay. Jay Wanzik, the 6'7 senior forward, 31 points and 21 rebounds here for the Skyhawks. So Klein, England, Emmel, Wilkinson, and Wanzik. Shiloh on the season again, 22-4 on the season. We're going to get going here at the bottom of the hour inside the event center as the crowd has filed in nicely here on this Saturday. And good news, the roads are open, which hopefully means we'll get to spring planting and spring sports sooner rather than later, Bryce Laxell.
I hope so. It'll be really nice for the ADs around the state. I know that, if we can plant something.
Yeah, it's not like you guys had, a 3-class system to worry about either here in recent weeks either.
We've had nothing to do. We need something to do.
And a reminder that the Red River Valley Fair is coming up around the corner. If you want to feel a little bit warmer out there, it's the 10 best days of summer. I personally like a good corn dog and a funnel cake. How about you?
Hey, I'll go for a corn dog. Definitely a corn dog and a Diet Mountain Dew, funnel Mountain Dew. That's some good stuff there.
July 7th through the 16th, the 10 best days of summer going on at the RedRiverValleyFair.com. From Dan and Shay, Shinedown, Jelly Roll, Leonard Skinner, Flow Rider, and more. Get your tickets before you get to the door by going to RedRiverValleyFair.com and save some change inside your wallet. For Central Cass, they'll go right to left across your screen. For Shiloh, they will go left to right respectively. 4 8-minute quarters, a 35-second shot clock. It's the final 32 minutes of the high school basketball season here in the state of North Dakota. Shiloh, as expected, it's an in-town game and full of their apparel. The Central Cass Squirrels fans have made their way from Castleton across I-94. It's the opening tip, and the title game is underway and won by the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. We'll see what Central Cass has done. We've seen both a 1-2-2, a little 2-3, and man pressure defense as they'll go right-hand side to Wanzik. Wanzik jumper on the way, no good. Rebound skied for by Mason Bussey. Opposite end for Shiloh, it's been a lot of man pressure defense as well. Kovarovic, top of the key, guarded here by Klein. Dribble handoff to Dakota at the high post. Dakota looking backdoor on a little switch. Up and over on the pass to the baseline here with Holzer, with Wilkinson is guarding him. Ball gets skipped to Boer. Boer, stop, pop, 15-footer off the mark, and a board to the Shiloh Skyhawks. Shiloh handled this one with Caden England as they cross the timeline. Skyhawks averaging 70 points per game while giving up 51 per contest as this ball gets swung around and right through the wickets of Caden England, while for Central Cass averaging 66 and 44 defensively they're giving up.
Yeah, I see that Burr is right away. He's on Atticus out there. That's a tough matchup. He's going to have to be really physical, and he has been so far.
For the Squirrels, they'll take the ball screen with Bussy near sideline out of Dakota, right in front of the Skyhawks bench. Takes a hard dribble, tries to finish with the left hand. Oh, what a move for Carter Dakota.
Great finish with the left, and he's one of the guys that we talked about in pregame that could have a big game, and he gets the first two.
If he gets going in the first quarter, it's going to feel like the Blickery from Wahpeton, not the event center, as he just went off to your point, Bryce, in that Region 1 tournament.
Yeah, he might be a Wildcat in the future, but maybe the Bismarck State will be down here watching too.
Wanzik skips it right-hand side, three-pointer on the way off the front iron, no good by Emmel. Ball gets tipped out and off of who, and they'll say it will be Central Cass basketball. And it's going to be interesting, this style of play, right? Because is it an up-and-down game? Is it going to be more of a half-court oriented? You heard Matt Norman saying, hey, we know they got some size. They would like to make it a little bit more of an up-and-down game. But so far, Bryce, it has been what you'd expect in a championship game, kind of close to the vest, as we have an illegal ball screen here on Eli.
Yeah, and they kind of settle in, feel each other out. There's obviously a lot of nerves going on. I think the first couple possessions are huge. You want to see the ball go through the hoop, advantage right away to Castleton. Here you see pick them up right away. I think they really want to create some turnovers here, and, they're so good at creating offense from their defense, and we'll see if they'll be able to do that tonight.
Wanzik relieves some pressure here. Holzer trying to get the slip steal, can't get it. England goes down the paint, kick out right-hand side. Clyde right wing three, off the mark, no rebound, tipped into the hands of Mason Bussy. Bussy in transition near sideline, right in front of the scores table to Holzer as they slip it out to Sam Kovervig. Kovervig at the left wing, they switch, and now Wilkinson's on the guard. Ball goes to Boer, back to the top of the key here, Kovervig. Kovervig drives and kicks, right pocket three, Verkota on the way, bury it! Carter Verkota now with 5.
And he can fill it up fast. We've seen him before like we talked about, and he's had a great start to this game.
Really nice offensive set for Central Cass as well. Got a little matchup there with the post on Kovervig. There's where the help came in. Verkota was the benefactor there on the baseline.
Yeah.
Here's a little slip on the other side. Tough shot off the way. No putback though, and there's the size with Wilkinson.
Yeah, offensive rebound on the possession before. Castleton did a really good job taking advantage of Shiloh switching on defense.
Shiloh in 2 games prior to this championship, plus 24 in rebounds. Bryce, that is a large stat.
And that's huge tonight. Castleton has to be able to rebound, and they get their first 2 points on an offensive rebound.
Central Cass will have a turnover as the Skyhawks work in position. The other way, a little shake and bake here by England. Right-hand side, baseline 3 for the tie by Emmel. Off the mark, rebound comes down to Eli Boer. Boer will give it back in the front court now as it goes to Kovervig. Kovervig at the top of the key, ankle cross to Verkota. Here is a Skyhawk switch at the top. Verkota drive, open, Bussy, left baseline 3, off the front iron, no one boxes out Bussy. He gets the ball back and a fresh 35. Kovervig to Verkota. Carter skips it, Eli, right wing. Guarded there again by Wanzik. Back up top here now for the Squirrels. Kovervig taking a hard dribble, gets to the paint, hangs, shoot, partially blocked, but there's going to be a foul, and the foul will come on Caden England. Kovervig absorbed the contact and forced the official to make a call, and we'll get 2 free throws after a media Bank North timeout here for Sam Kovervig. Bryce, before we go to break, what did you like about the drive there with Kovervig?
He did a great job of absorbing the contact. He was a little bit late on the call, but I think he did foul him at the end.
So 5 points for Verkota, 2 here for Wilkinson. It's 5-2 Squirrels. It's a State B title on yourliveevent.com.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator.
Timeouts on the floor, brought to you in part by our friends at Bank North as they offer the perfect sync for your busy life with their online banking and mobile app. You can take them wherever you go, and it's values-based banking without ever slowing down, particularly when you check out their mobile app with Bank North. Member FDIC and proud supporter of their community. So far, Bryce, on the matchups here, you mentioned about Eli defensively. Is there anything that stands out about Shiloh if they're switching screens or what we're seeing here on their man pressure defense?
Yeah, when they're switching screens, when they switch big to small, Castleton's done a good job twice of taking advantage of it. When a guard gets the rotation back up top with a big on them, they're going right downhill and making those big guys have to move their feet.
Kovervig, a 61% free throw shooter, buries the first. Reminder in this kind of a setting, because of the media timeouts, you only get 4 to call as a team. Both teams so far with 1 team foul. Kovervig, second one up and good here for Central Cass. So Dakota and Convervig on the scoreboard here. Bachmeyer into the game here for Central Cass alongside with Owen Wiersma. Klein gets to the paint, leaves it left-hand side up off the window. Good for two by Atticus Wilkinson. Wilkinson has all four from the left block.
Yeah, he kind of opened up their floodgates a little bit early. You want to pressure him, but you don't want to turn that right into offense. And he got a downhill drive right to the rim, and the help came over. Did a great job of passing the ball off to Wilkinson.
Convervig takes a ball screen here by Wiersma. There's the switch with the big on Wanzik. Now it's back to the top of the key with Holzer. Reverse it near sideline to Bachmeyer on this little 4-out, 1-in on the little drive and cut offense. Deep three by Convervig on the way. It was halfway down and rattled out, and a rebound by England and a foul with Owen Wiersma. Wiersma will pick up his first and the team's second here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Full court pressure defense. And Central Cass will try to upend Shiloh. Shiloh did have 19 turnovers in their overtime win over Beulah, and at particular times, particularly in that fourth quarter, Bryce, it just seemed like the full court pressure defense got to them a little bit in terms of gearing them up more so than what they really wanted to play.
It took about 29 minutes for Beulah to wear them down, but they really did, and I think they were tired. You're a little bit lazy with the ball. You're not as crisp with your passes, and Beulah did a really good job of not giving up that game last night and pushed it into overtime, and they kind of ran out of gas at the end, but you know, they kind of gave the blueprint to what Castleton's trying to do here early.
Wanzik jumper from the left baseline. He's got his first bucket. Nice weaving action, and he's got one from 15 feet. And the Skyhawks are back within one. And give credit to Shiloh. A lot of teams might fold at that point, as that's going to be a turnover here with Klein. He's going one-on-one with Convervig. Sam's able to get a rip through, but right to a man, and that's going to be a blocking foul here for Convervig as he hits the deck hard and might have got the wind knocked out of him. He had the big man running right down the tracks here for the Skyhawks as we see the replay inside the Bismarck Event Center as Atticus Wilkinson will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, he took a shot there, a place where you don't want to take a shot.
That was the big man at 6'6", going up against Convervig at 6'2". Give credit to Sam. We've seen him do it so many times throughout the season. And it's a good hard foul, if you will, as Convervig will check out. As Bussey and Boer return, Dakota checks out as the free throw is missed here by Atticus Wilkinson.
I actually think that's a great way to sum him up. You know, he wasn't him that turned the ball over, but he's the first guy back in transition. He tries to get a steal, deflects the ball, then tries to take a charge after that. I mean, I think that's a great way to sum him up, and he takes a shot for his team. He'll be back in a minute or so, I bet.
Wilkinson goes 1-2 from the free throw line. Bussey, 15-footer, no Holzer, rebound, power dribble. He's got three Skyhawks around him. Bussey, 15-footer again, yes! Second chance opportunities, and Matt Norman said, as he's done throughout this postseason, try to get extra possessions, and it worked right there.
Yeah, he came right back to him. You get a second shot from almost the same spot. You feel good right there, and he knocked it down.
Klein, top of the key, trying to work by Bachmeyer. Driving kick, left-hand side, England on the way. Caden, three! Tickles the twine. Caden England with the triple. That's his first three-pointer here of the tournament.
Nice pass. He delivered that from about halfway across the court, right on the money, right in a shooting pocket, and it was a nice knockdown.
Skyhawks with the lead. Driving kick. Here goes Wiersma now. Wiersma on this weaving action to Mason Bussey. Bussey spins up and over on the pass. Top of the key to Holzer. Holzer slip past this one, partially deflected. Wiersma trying to chase it down. So is England. He got bodies flying all over the place. Coming up with it is Emmel. He goes up, and there's a foul. This feels like a roller derby match right now, and Mason Bussey might have maybe rolled his ankle here. And we mentioned yesterday the game with Central Cass and Delax Burlington was really physical, and this looks like a state championship game, Bryce, with a bunch of guys right now laying everything on the line.
There's a lot of football guys out there right now, and it's kind of turning into a kind of a rugby scrum, but that's just guys hustling after the ball. That's something you love to see.
Shiloh Christian leads it by 1, 10-9 with 1:56 left to play in the opening quarter. It's the B on your live event.
At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, We've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Chase Miller, Bryce Laxdal with you here inside the Bismarck Event Center. Is going to the free throw line. Shooting 2 will be Isaac Emmel. This will be his first free throw attempts of the tournament. For the 5'11 junior guard, going into a sea of red behind him, and free throw attempt is up and missed. So far, Shiloh now 1 of 3 from the free throw line. Second one on the way for the Skyhawks. As Kavervig returns to the floor, and Dakota as well here for Central. Cass Emmel goes 1 of 2.
Yeah, Castleton's a little bit smaller, but they're also a little bit better offensively with this group out here right now.
And we were talking with Matt Norman the difference between a regular season game and this game, because again, all the media timeouts, and that really is an interesting landscape for a coach to kind of navigate here, Bryce.
Well, especially when you worry about legs and banging on those big guys, it gives you a chance to kind of rest up. You can sit on the bench for what might be 3 minutes in a regular game, but in this game, it's only a minute of game time.
Kyler Klein goes the other way after a miss by Holzer. England got it to the outlet, and going from the left wing to the right block is Klein, and the Skyhawks with their largest lead right now at 4. Central Cass looking for an offensive set here now with Dakota in the front court, working right to left. Kavervig right wing, free throw line extended as they give it to Bachmeyer here at the top of the key. Back to Kavervig at the NBA range 3. We'll leave it now to Holzer. Holzer with 10 seconds on the shot clock, driving inside. Nice step through off the window, unable to finish, and a board decline.
I think that might be Holzer's first shot attempt, and we're almost done with the first quarter.
England with the basketball here, left to right, trying to get by Bachmeyer. Gets his step, goes up, and lost his body on the way up here. Just a little player control, if you will, Bryce. I don't think that's the reason why the officials did not call that a foul.
I totally agree with it. He was out of control. He was kind of herky-jerky down the lane, and I'm glad they don't reward that.
Carter Monjo into the game now for Central Caswell. Wyatt Weston, the 6'2 sophomore guard, into the contest here for the Skyhawks. Squirrels at Bachmeyer handling the point on this possession with a little horn set. Goes behind the back, looking to shoot. Ball gets skipped, and there's going to be a steal on the way for Emmel. Emmel tries to go coast to coast, and Kavervig gets a block shot. Oh, what a play by Kavervig.
How many times have we seen that in the postseason?
And now the Squirrels have numbers, but they're going to hold it up here. And Sam looked at the clock and said, let's take the final shot of the quarter.
Smart move.
So for Bachmeyer here, looking to call out the offense for Central Cass to Kavervig. Kavervig back to Bachmeyer. Circle this one if Central Cass can get points off the block. Bachmeyer right wing, 5 seconds. Kavervig trying to split a Skyhawk. Does left-hand side for Dakota. Left pocket 3 on the way. Off the front iron, and that's how we'll end our first quarter of play. It's the Skyhawks 13, the Squirrels 9, and it's a State B title on yourliveevent.com.
Take a good look at Hillsboro. It's conveniently located between Fargo and Grand Forks. Hillsboro is a growing community with solid local schools with high graduation rates. There's an industrial park ready to host a new business. And there's Woodland Park with activities all year round. The Hillsboro Economic Development Corporation asks you to take a good look at Hillsboro when you're thinking about a place to put down roots and grow. For more information, contact the Hillsboro Economic Development Corporation at growhillsboroND.com.
Hi, I'm Jake Berkmeyer, and I'm inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me August 3rd through the 12th in Glacier, Yellowstone, and the Grand Tetons National Parks. Enjoy the ultimate Northern Rockies touring experience with highlights such as the Lewis and Clark Trail, spectacular wildlife, and a covered wagon cookout. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ for more information and to watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ for more information.
For the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks, they were trailing at 5-2 with 4:29 left to play in the opening quarter. Since then, they've only given up 4 points, and they've scored 11. Their defense, Bryce, to really the midway point of the quarter really started picking up, and we saw that transition game as well working for the Skyhawks.
And you're exactly right. And we see how good they are in half-court offense. So you compound that with turning that great pressure defense into instant offense, and that's why they went on that run that we talked about. We'll see if if Castleton can limit their turnovers and turn those turnovers into shot attempts, because right now that's really what they're not getting. They're not getting shot attempts.
Bachmeyer in the front court right now as they'll leave it right-hand side as this will go to Kavervig. Kavervig up top, Boer left of the key, NBA 3, got it! Eli Boer from downtown Bismarck, and it's the second triple here for Central Cass.
They needed that. Great set. That's how you go for the 2-for-1 at the end of the first quarter, right into the second.
Klein had his pocket picked here. He gets by the first way, but not the second. Bachmeyer up the floor to Holzer on the left baseline. Holzer probing, looking, using up that dribble. Kavervig at the top of the key. Kavervig takes a crossover to the right-hand side. Here goes Dakota rising from 16. Off the mark, rebound here by England. Caden reverse pivots now for the Skyhawks. Trying to get by Dakota. Does. Leaves it right-hand side to Weston. Weston back up top to the big man, Wanzik. Oh, what a move.
Soft touch, soft touch.
Jay Wanzik now with 4 here inside the paint.
Big man going to his left, finishing with the ball up high. That was nice.
Bachmeyer gives it to Boer to Holzer. Three-pointer on the way. Right wing off the mark. No. Rebound. Boer put back left block. No. Ball gets tipped by Dakota to Eli. Now to Kavervig. And a fresh 35 and a reset for Central Cass. Kavervig takes a couple hard dribbles. Now to Holzer on the baseline. Holzer on the right-hand side gets inside the paint here. Little slip pass across the way to Bachmeyer on the baseline. Double comes kick. Right wing Kavervig. Booyah! Sam Kavervig hits another one. He's got 5.
Nice patient offense, and Sam knocked down a big shot again. How many times have we said that the last couple days?
5 3-pointers last night in their semifinal win. 3-pointer on the way for the Skyhawks off the mark from the left baseline after the miss by Weston, and we're knotted at 15 apiece. 6-2 run to start here this quarter for Central Cass. Holzer, little jab step here, going one-on-one. There comes the help, and there's a reach. Kyler Klein got the right wrist here of Holzer. That'll be his first and the team's second. Substitution, good to see Bussy back on the floor after he kind of rolled that ankle a little bit. And returning here for Shiloh will be Atticus Wilkinson. By the way, when I say Atticus, I feel like I'm going 80 years back in the English dictionary here, Bryce.
Reading an old novel.
This will go right-hand side. Now to the top of the key. Kavervig 3. He's got another one. Back-to-back triples for Kavervig.
I love it. He makes me voting for senior athlete look better and better.
Ball goes off the hands here of the Shiloh Skyhawks, Isaac Emmel. And I tell you what, Sam Kavervig, when he starts scoring, particularly offensively, Bryce, they can be very dangerous. Well, like we saw yesterday, I'm not saying they're almost become unguardable, but it feels like it at times.
You know, kind of since they went away from worrying about guarding bigs with bigs and putting their best scorers on the court, they've really gone on a run. I think that's been huge for them.
Holzer, top of the key, three-pointer, no. Ball gets tipped out. Good tip by Dakota. Bussy, 14-footer, left elbow, off the mark, but the Squirrels here in this run are getting second chance opportunities.
Yeah, and they're taking advantage of them, and they're getting their offense just looks a lot more comfortable, a lot more fluid, and they're running great sets.
Shiloh Weston, left-hand side of England at the left wing, takes a ball screen. They hedge. They try to trap. Can't do so. Weston going to rip it through, but there's going to be a traveling violation here on the Skyhawks. And we got a media timeout on the floor. The Squirrels now up by 3 with 5:15 left to play in the first half. It's the State B title on your live event.
Public School, their mission is to develop lifelong learners and responsible citizens. You can visit the website tps-k12.org for school announcements and calendars, lunch menus, weather announcements, athletic schedules, and information on the construction project and new addition at the Thompson Public School. Follow them on social media and find Tommy Pride with student updates and events with the Thompson Public Schools. Stay in touch with your children's education or find out why the Thompson Public Schools is right for you. tps-k12.org.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Chase Miller, Bryce Laxdal with you here inside the Bismarck Event Center. That media timeout brought to you in part by our friends at Bank North. Visit ibanknorth.com to find a branch and check out their store in Castleton on Monday. Chase Miller, Bryce Laxdal. Bryce, 9-2 run here to start the quarter for Central Cass. What's working for them?
I just think they put a set of better scorers out there. They're getting second chance points, and they're just getting great shots with their feet set and squared to the hoop, and they're just good enough basketball players. They're knocking those shots down.
Mason Bussey with a little flare to Holzer. Holzer almost had it stolen away, and it was Weston there able to get the steal, and now it's the Shiloh Skyhawks with the basketball. England brings us one to the front court, guarded by Dakota at the left wing. England crossing over left to right. Crow hops inside the paint. This one will come to Wanzik. Wanzik slip pass across the way and throws a 90-mile-an-hour fastball right into the cameraman, and that'll be a turnover. As Carter Maggio and Bachmeyer will come in, as Boer and Dakota will check out for Shiloh. Isaac Emmel will check out of the contest, and here's the two big men on the floor with Wilkinson and Wanzik.
Yeah, we'll see if Shiloh's able to take advantage of that now. And get some post touches.
Bachmeyer takes the ball screen here. They go underneath it with Holzer. Bachmeyer uses up that dribble, now gives it back to Kovarevic here at the right wing. Kovarevic trying to get a ball screen from Maggio, takes it. He's going to rise from 17 feet, and he tickles the bottom of the net. Sam Kovarevic in double digits with 10, and this feels like last night for Kovarevic shooting.
Yeah, he's kind of picked up right where he left off, and he's done a great job of carrying his team here at the state tournament.
Make it an 11-2 run to start this quarter here for Central Cass. We'll have a foul, however, on the Squirrels. This foul will come across on Chase Bachmeyer, his first, team's fifth. What did you see on that one, Bryce?
They're just trying to pick him up 40 feet, 50 feet from the basket, and they just kind of got caught with being a little bit too aggressive on that ball screen. As
the Skyhawks quickly get it on the inbounds here to Wanzik. Left-hand side, that'll go to Klein. Kyler Klein here between the circles. Little right to left, cross dishes it right-hand side to Weston. They're trying for that high-low game, and there's a block shot by Holzer. Staying with it, though, is Wanzik. Wanzik driving kick, left-hand side to Klein, back to the right wing. Here goes Weston, three! Nothing but the bottom of the net. Wyatt Weston with the triple. Holzer played that perfectly, but good job by Wanzik staying with it. Bachmeyer going to the tin, left-handed shot, and there's a foul on the big man with Wanzik. Wanzik will pick up his first and the team's third. Bachmeyer, a 62% free throw shooter, will go to line to shoot two here. And that's kind of that one thing that we were talking about earlier today, Bryce, before even this game, was if Central Cass, if you're going to drive, you got to be fully committed against these big fellas on the inside.
Yeah, you got to go up strong. You got to be ready to face some contact and be able to finish strong through that. And so far, Castleton's done a great job of that. Their guards have gone strong, and they've done a really good job of finishing.
Bachmeyer makes the first, buries the second. As coming back into the game is going to be Eli Boer alongside with Dakota, as Bussey and Kovarevic take a seat here inside the Bismarck Event Center. Squirrels with a 4-point advantage as we're nearing our halftime show, where we'll recap what happened in the earlier three games here from the Bismarck Event Center for the B. Right-hand side, that's going to be a jab step with Klein. Klein cut off, now handoff goes to Wanzik between the rings, as this will go to England. England, left-handed hit by dribble, driving kick. Weston, three-pointer off the back of the rim. No ball, gets pinballed around and won by Central Cass. Dakota in transition. Eli Boer at the right wing gives it back to Carter. Dakota with a little rocker jab step, but as he did that, he went out of bounds. But the one thing about that last rebound, Bryce, it seemed like a football game. You hear swarm to the running back, and we saw 4 red jerseys swarming to the basketball.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. There's 4 Squirrels down there and only 2 Skyhawks, and they won out. They right now a 50-50 ball. That's something you can circle if whoever's going to get more 50-50 balls, especially on those rebounds.
4-point edge. Shiloh with the basketball here in the front court with Klein. Klein going left to right, gets by his man. Driving kick, England, three-pointer on the way, White ring, got it to go. And a fist pump by Brad Miller. Caden England now with his second triple. He's got 6. Skyhawks back within 1. Near sideline is Dakota. Dakota at the top of the key. Had it poked away momentarily by Klein. Gets the ball back, and Shiloh now is swarming on the other side of the floor. Bachmeyer drives, passes right-hand side to Boer. Eli with it now to Holzer. Holzer with a jab step to lefty, getting guard by Wilkinson. Holzer able to drive to the baseline. Finger roll layup, no putback. Oh, how about Carter Maggio? We're in the headband for 2.
Big-time points off the bench. Any bucket he gives you is going to be nothing but energy because the crowd's going to love it.
To your point, that's Maggio's first field goal of the tournament, and it comes at the most opportune time in a title game. Left-hand side with the basketball is Caden England. England on the baseline, going to drive, throws one up, and there's a foul, and England will go to the stripe to shoot 2. Foul comes across here on the Central Cass Squirrels, as this will be on the aforementioned Maggio, his first and the team's 6th. We have immediate timeout on the floor, brought to you in part by our friends at Bank North. We'll break as well. We'll find out who can close the first half on a run when we return on your live event.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on YourLiveEvent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on YourLiveEvent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
3-point edge here for the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. Shiloh 22-4 on the season. They've never won a state Class B basketball title. While for the Central Cass Squirrels, 25-0, trying to do what 4 wins Minnewacan did last season, go undefeated and try to win a state championship, which would be their 3rd in program history. Right in front of us here, we see Atticus Wilkinson, that left pinky, the right pinky here getting taped up. Just looks like maybe a little bit of a jam finger, if you will.
It'd be interesting to see, though. That's right on his shooting hand. That's definitely going to make a difference. He doesn't shoot a ton away from the hoop, but it's just, something you're not comfortable with and used to.
England goes to the free throw line, where he's a 70% free throw shooter on the season to shoot 2. While the Central Cass student section does the roller coaster that does not work in terms of the free throw. Free throw is up and good. How about that squirrel costume there, Bryce?
That's nice. I haven't seen that before.
That with a little sports jacket on top. Yes. That's got to be 100 degrees, though, inside.
Definitely sweating. He's going to need a shower after this one.
England goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Even the cheerleaders and the mascots got to hit the showers afterwards and get refreshed for what's next. This one will be to the left-hand side, as that'll go over Dakota now to Boer. Boer at the left wing, deep three-pointer on the way. Got it! Oh, the knuckler finds a strike. Boer with his second triple. He's got 6.
That's been big. He hasn't been shooting great this tournament, and he's hit 2 in a row now.
And that was with a Wanzik hand in his face. That was a tough shot.
Big-time closeout from someone 6'7".
As Central Cass went to trap, Shiloh able to break it left-hand side with England. High post touch here to Wilkinson, right wing. This will go to Weston. Weston leaves it left-hand side. Wanzik back to Weston here. A lot of W's for Shiloh. Top of the key, three-pointer off the mark. No putback, almost went in on the inadvertent tip by Holzer. Holzer gives it to Kovervig as we get to about a minute left here of the half. Kovervig driving kick. Verkota right wing. Verkota makes it inside the paint, and a block shot by Weston. Here comes a double team for England, and there's a body foul in the back with Mason Bussey. Bussey will pick up the foul. That's his first, and that's big because it's bonus now for the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks.
Yeah, and I know they want to pressure full court, but they let him get away with the body a few times, and it was definitely a foul, and you see it on the screen up top.
And that's one, too, where at the end of the half, you give Shiloh potential here to cut into this lead right now with a pair of free throws, as the Skyhawks are 4 of 6 from the free throw line.
Yep. You can see you can get a 2-for-1, too, if you're Castleton.
Free throw attempt, still the 1-and-1 here again for Shiloh. England misses the first. Rebound, put back, it's still loose underneath. This one will go out of play, saved here, and that's going to be with Michael Fagerlin into the game. But it goes to Central Cass. Bachmeyer walks it up the timeline as he crosses it at center court. Little pick and pop action. Here's your 2-for-1. Holzer, he wants 2+1. He's got another 3.
That's huge.
Holzer with his 3rd three-pointer of the tournament here. That's the largest lead for Central Cass at 7.
I didn't quite get the 2-for-1. The shot clock kind of reset a little bit late, it looked like. But either way, that's a huge shot and big momentum swing.
So a timeout on the floor. We'll keep it here. This is your lose it or use it timeout for head coach Brad Miller and the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. 30-23 Central Cass with 25.7 seconds left to play. And really the difference, Bryce, I think in this quarter is the threes. For Central Cass, they have 7 field goals. 4 of them are from beyond the arc by 3 different players.
Yep, they've done a great job of creating space and finding those drive and kick lanes, and then their feet are set and they're ready to knock down those shots. And it's been just a different array of people. They have so many options, and they've all stepped up and they've done exactly what you need to win a title game.
And if you would tell Matt Norman that you wouldn't have Holzer scoring until about 30 seconds left in the half and you're up by 7, he probably would have taken that with a slam dunk.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done a nice job of shutting him down, but it hasn't really let him bother him too much. He's been playing great.
Shiloh to inbound the basketball here. A bucket would cut it to a 2-possession contest before the half. With it is England, guarded by Bachmeyer. Again, the Squirrels foul. It is a 1-and-1. Right-hand side with the basketball. Emmel top of the key. That'll go to Klein. Klein gives it back here to the top to England. England doesn't take a ball screen. Gets by Bachmeyer. Drives inside the paint. Leaves, and that's an offensive charge. And guess who? Sam Kovarovic came in, slid in, stopped for just a moment before the pass by England.
Yep, and you're seeing Brewer come in for a little bit of offense. And Castleton has the chance to really flip the script here.
Caden's going to pick up his second.
Oh, you probably see, it looks like Shiloh could probably foul a couple times here. They put somebody in that hasn't been in the game yet. Well, he's playing back. They might not foul.
So 6.2 seconds left to play, and here's your lose it or use it timeout on the opposite side for head coach Matt Norman and the Central Cass Squirrels. So you take a look at this contest here, Bryce. Physical at particular times, there's no question, as Devin Davis will come in now for Shiloh, but if you're going to go to the rim, you better go in expecting some contact, whether it's going to be a charge or a blocking foul, because these officials have done a good job to allow them to play through it, but the way everyone is swarming to the paint, it's going to be a problem to get right to the rim.
Yeah, I thought they've done a really good job of being consistent. A lot of times, right now, if you think that lane's going to be blocked by the time you get in there, it's time to do a jump stop and find that where that defense came from and the kick out, and then look for the one more pass or be ready to step up and knock down a shot when you get that opportunity.
6.2 seconds left here for the Squirrels, trying to go baseline to baseline, but that one was about a 12-foot high pass for a 6'7" guy in Holzer who tried to climb the ladder. A second and a half just come off the clock, but a turnover here for the Squirrels, and now it's Shiloh with the offensive substitutions, getting some guys back on the floor.
A lot of guys in and out in the last 2 seconds of basketball.
Kyler Klein will inbound it on the far side, as they got to make sure that they got 5 players out on the floor. Logan Fingston making sure, doing the job counting, giving the thumbs up to our official scorekeeper here. Inbound coming up here with Klein. Klein to Wanzik, back to Klein. Trying to get the 3 off, does before the buzzer off the backboard, no, and that's how we'll end our second quarter of play. The Squirrels scored 21 points in the quarter. The Skyhawks scored 10. And at the half, in the 2023 State Class B Boys Basketball Championship, it's Central Cass up by 7. Halftime show coming up next.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Many factors impact your ability to increase profits on the farm. Make sure your planter is an asset and not a liability. Some limiting factors in making the perfect planter pass are row maintenance, meter calibration, and downforce management. It will not cost you anything to have the conversation about identifying those limiting factors. Call RDK Enterprises 701-636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Take a good look at Hillsborough. You probably know that the people are friendly, and you know about the quality of healthcare available at Sanford Medical Center. Maybe you've been to the Hillsborough Sports Complex to cheer on the Burros. Look at the businesses on Hillsborough's Main Street. The Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation provides financial help to local child care providers, and they're interested in supporting local businesses. For more information, contact the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation at growhillsboroughnd.com.
Bank of North Dakota wants you to be confident when it's time to make student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident to calculate the maximum amount of student loan debt that is recommended based on your career choice. You can also learn how to apply for financial aid and get tips to cut education expenses. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident today.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career, doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
Chase Miller, Bryce Laxdal with you here inside the Bismarck Event Center on our halftime show. We'll take a look at what happened earlier in the day before we get to the second half action. But Bryce, taking a look at the first half numbers, I mean, right now both teams shooting very similar from the floor. The threes are a little bit of a margin, and I know we talked about how Shiloh was plus margin on rebounds. Well, right now it's Central Cass that has the +5 margin. So what kind of stood out to you in the opening two quarters?
Well, I think that's it, how big of an advantage we thought that Shiloh had coming into the game, you know, and that rebounding efficiency. And you see they're getting out-rebounded by 5 right now. And then you see the points off threes. Castleton's at 18 and Shiloh's at 9. I think those are the two biggest differences. I think if you're Shiloh, you want to come out and establish something down low like we talked about. We haven't said high-low very much, and that's something we said, you know, every possession for the first 2 games for Shiloh. And if you're Castleton, you're doing a great job of controlling this game and limiting those points in the paint, and you got to keep that aggressive defense up full court.
Taking a look at the first half numbers here for Central Cass, 10 of 24 shooting from the floor, 6 of 11 from beyond the arc, and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Central Cass 15 rebounds, 6 assists, and 8 turnovers. For the Shiloh Skyhawks, 8 of 19 shooting from the floor, 3 of 12 from the land of 3, and 4 of 7 from the free throw line. 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 7 turnovers here for Shiloh. Squirrels on the individual portion. The lone player in double digits is Sam Kovervig. 3 of 4, trying to pull what he did last night, Bryce. Missed your first shot, then make 3 straight. He's 3 of 4 right now and 2 of 3 from the land of 3.
He's well on his way. He just doesn't take bad shots, and he does way more than that doesn't show up in the stat book he does on the court. He's all over the place, and he controls the game.
6 points on the way for Eli Boer with 4 rebounds and 2 big-time threes. 5 points then for Carter Dakota. From there you have 3 points for Cole Holzer, 4 rebounds, 2 points for Bachmeyer, 2 points for Mason Bussey, and a putback for Carter Maggio for Central Cass. Shiloh right now led by the 8 points of Caden England, who's 2 of 2 shooting from the floor with 4 rebounds. From there, 5 points by Wilkinson with 2 boards, 4 by Wanzik with a point. You also have 3 by Weston, 2 by Klein, and 1 right now by Isaac Emmel. It's the Central Cass Squirrels and the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. And again, 18-9 in terms of points from the land of 3. That's really been your difference so far here in this one. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll recap what happened early in the day before the second half action. It's a state championship game. It's the B from Bismarck on your live event.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
congratulations and tip of the cap to Derek Dissett, mind you, winning Mr. Basketball here in the state of North Dakota. He's a future NDSU commit. There were two from Class B. You had Stainbrook from North Border and Tyson Inget from Powers Lake Burke Central were also in that. Take a look at the final votes. Derek Dissett was unanimous. He received all 27 first-place votes. Ryan Erickson from Century was second, followed by Dvorak from Dickinson third, Zach Kraft from Red River fourth, Stainbrook from North Border fifth, and Tyson Inget from Powers Lake Burke Central was sixth on the Mr. Basketball. Earlier today, seventh-place game went to Medina Bangor Buchanan, 66-51. Joshua Mosier with 29 points and Rylan Wick with 21 for the Thunder. In the Consolation Championship, the Thompson Tommies took care of Powers Lake Burke Central, and the first 16 minutes, it was a flurry and a lot of fun here inside the Event Center. 72-61, Tommies with the win. Starcevic with 26 points and Overby added 22 for the Thompson Tommies. Third place game went to Beulah, 66-57 over to Lax Burlington. The Miners very balanced with 5 players in double digits. Carson Yale matched a tournament high with Mosier from Medina Bangor Buchanan with 34 points in one contest here in this tournament. Bryce, as we take one more quick look at this matchup, anything you would change from a Shiloh or Central Cass point of view to start this third quarter?
I think if you're Castleton, you try to keep the first half or the second half as similar as the first half as possible. You do a great job of controlling the pace. I think if you're Shiloh, you have to get the ball inside. If it doesn't matter how many rotations you get, those guys need to get touches. It can't be one pass, look inside, and then settle for something on the outside. Those guys need the ball. They need to score, and that's what's going to give you a chance in the second half.
Central Cass Lab at the 10 for Covervig. Hayden England with 8 to lead Shiloh. Second half action is next. It's the title on your live event.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Take a good look at Hillsboro. It's conveniently located between Fargo and Grand Forks. Hillsboro is a growing community with solid local schools with high graduation rates. There's an industrial park ready to host a new business. And there's Woodland Park with activities all year round. The Hillsboro Economic Development Corporation asks you to take a good look at Hillsboro when you're thinking about a place to put down roots and grow. For more information, contact the Hillsboro Economic Development Corporation at growhillsboroND.com.
It's a state championship game here on YourLiveEvent.com. 30-24 as Shiloh will start with the basketball here in this second half inside the Bismarck Event Center. Again, a 7-point lead for the Central Cass Squirrels. I'm Chase Miller. He's Bryce Laxell. Bryce, thanks so much, by the way, for spending your week here and your spring break with us here on Your Live Event inside the Bismarck Event Center. It's been good to have you.
No, this has been awesome. I appreciate it. And I think this is my 32nd B, so I've been here a lot anyways. And we get great seats down here and great company with you. And this has just been awesome to call these games.
Yeah, you can't complain about the seats. I mean, if they had like a water boy, we would literally get the water off the towel or possibly get something to drink. We're so close to the action here inside the Event Center. Shiloh starts with the basketball to start this second half. And, well, here's the high-low action to start with as Wanzik pops it inside to Wilkinson, and there's 2 points right off the bat.
Yeah, I think that was the message at halftime, and that's exactly what they need to do.
7 points here for Wilkinson. Give the assist to Wanzik, while for Central Cass here, Covervig takes a ball screen by Holzer, driving kick, leaves a pass to Boer. Boer tried to get on top of it on this one. Shiloh will get it away, and here's a pass up the other end of the floor with Klein, and then stolen by Bussey. And a foul here for Shiloh. Skyhawks with Isaac Emma will pick up his first and the team's first. Holzer, Bussey, Verkota, Covervig, and Boer here for Central Cass. And it's the same starting five for Shiloh: Klein, England, Emma, Wilkinson, Wanzik. More than likely, Shiloh really only plays with about a 6, maybe 7-man rotation on most nights. Central Cass, as we mentioned, you'll see about 8 on any given night, maybe 9 depending on the situation.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see more than 6 the second half from Shiloh, And I think Castleton has a little bit better legs right now, but there's a guy they need to get going right now.
Holzer, nice bounce pass, slipped across here for Mason Bussey. Another one that's on the deck. It's still loose, and one here by Klein as England might have rolled his ankle. Holzer with the right-handed almost dunk for two.
That's 2 straight possessions. Shiloh's got the turnover, and they just turn around and threw it right back to Castleton. In games like this, you can't trade a turnover for the turnover. You have to take advantage of that.
High-low action, Wanzik. Wilkinson on the interior. Can't get the shot to go on a rebound to Holzer. Still a 7-point margin here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Mason Bussey in the front court guarded on the way there by Wanzik. Holzer spinning on Wilkinson. Oh, what a move, just unable to finish. And a rebound underneath by Jay.
You know, one thing with these officials, these guys are getting hit a little bit. They're absorbing some contact, but they're being consistent. You're going to have to finish through some bodies tonight.
Ball will be at the top of the key. Right-hand side open is Klein. Shot fake gets by Bussey to the 10 off the window. Got it to go. Kyler Klein now with 4. Full court pressure defense a little bit here with Klein right off the bat to try to get in front of Kovervig as Bussey handles the point. Bussey with the basketball, spins, leaves it. Dakota, right baseline 3 on the way. Dakota, that shot's going to be long, and a board by England who wants to run. England gets by Kovervig here in transition. It's a 3-on-2. England bounce pass to Wilkinson, and that's a block shot with Holzer. The Central Cass faithful thought that Wilkinson might have recollected the basketball and went out of bounds, but it will be Shiloh basketball as Bachmeyer will check in on the way for Bussey.
Yeah, it was really physical turn of events there. I couldn't really tell. It definitely looked like the ball hit down, and he just kind of grabbed it when it was standing on bounds.
As this one will get inbounded on the left-hand side with Wanzik. There's the handoff on the way to England. England with it between the circles here, guarded by Bachmeyer. Crossing over right to left, takes the ball screen, high post, little pick and pop action as they go on the interior with Wanzik to Wilkinson, and there's a steal with Holzer. Holzer with the basketball right to left on the cross, right-handed finger roll, layup unable to finish, and Wilkinson clears the window. England with it with a full head of steam, and Kovervig just kind of came out there and said, we're going to make you a detour.
I think England remembered that time before where Kovervig tried to take the charge. Turn him around.
Wilkinson battling with Boer. Double team comes. England zips it across near sideline. Wanzik, 3-pointer coming off the front rim. No, Wilkinson battling on the interior. Oh, what a spin move off the window. Unable to finish, and a board coming down to Kovervig. Well, Shiloh's had really good looks here in the third quarter, Bryce. They've just only have 2 field goals.
Yeah, they've gotten great points in the paint look, and it's a physical game right now.
Kovervig unable to finish as Shiloh now will have numbers the other way. It's a 5-on-4. England to the paint off the window. Got it to go over Holzer for 2. England in double digits with 10. The Skyhawks back within 1 possession.
It is getting physical out here right now.
Bachmeyer, right-hand side to Kovervig. Kovervig, right wing. We'll see what they draw up here. Kovervig top of the key, little right to left cross, lost it off his left shoe, and here's a turnover. Wilkinson works with it the other way, and there's going to be a foul here with Holzer.
That's a great foul by Holzer, but he's got to make sure he's going for the basketball. He kind of put 2 hands on the back right there, and that's a clear path to the basket foul.
Yeah, very much so, and we have a media timeout here with 4:18 left to play in the third quarter. It's the Central Cass Squirrels up by 3 over Shiloh here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Hi, I'm Jake Birkmeyer, and I'm inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me August 3rd through the 12th in Glacier, Yellowstone, and the Grand Tetons National Parks. Enjoy the ultimate Northern Rockies touring experience with highlights such as the Lewis and Clark Trail, spectacular wildlife, and a covered wagon cookout. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ for more information and to watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ for more information.
The Central Cass Squirrels and the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks, and both teams had to find their ways and earn their victories in the semifinals. Yesterday, Shiloh hanging on in overtime over Beulah, and then Delax Burlington Central Cass talking with some of the players after the game, Bryce, asking them, was that the most physical game you played? And a lot of them said, yeah, well, this one might surpass that from what we've seen for 2.5 quarters.
I think this one's definitely more physical, and you know, you got to credit the boys for playing hard. I mean, they're giving it all. Their bodies are flying all over the place, and I love the energy and effort off of both teams, and it's been a fun game to watch.
Skyhawks will inbound the basketball right in front of their bench here with Klein, who's got 4 points so far in the contest. Last time Shiloh had a lead, it was right before it was tied at 15 apiece. in the second quarter. Skyhawks back within 3 right now and a chance to tie or possibly even take the lead with a score and a stop and a score here, as we'll have a foul with Bachmeyer.
I think that's a call you might see a little bit more right now. I think the officials are going to try to clean it up a little bit. It's been really physical out around the perimeter for both teams.
Wiersma into the contest now for Central Cass. England looking to inbound it. Got to get it in before a 5 call does to Weston. Weston at the right-hand side. Back to England now. Top of the key. Splits a defense. Left-hand side. Three-pointer on the way. Partially blocked there on the shot by Emmel. And a reach and foul with Weston. Weston picks up his first, team second. Wiersma gets the rebound on the interior for Central Cass. For Central Cass right now, Kovervik, Bachmeyer, Bussey, Wiersma, and Holzer on the floor. Just one field goal so far here in this third quarter. That was a 2 by Holzer. Bussey, top of the key, reverse pivots near sideline out of Kovervik. Kovervik rips it through right to left, left-hand side to Holzer. Holzer working with it. The lane opens up. Holzer to the 10, right-handed layup for 2. Well, pardon it, because it's red down there. The Red Sea opened up there, Bryce, for Holzer.
It definitely did when he came and curled around that screen. There was nobody there.
Kyler Klein with the basketball. Driving kick action right-hand side to Emmel. Emmel high off the window with the answer for 2. Isaac Emmel, his first field goal. He's got 3 for the Skyhawks, and that's the deficit right now with 3:20 left in the third quarter. Mason Bussey up top, Holzer. Holzer guarded there by Wilkinson, right-hand side to Kovervik. Man defense here by Shiloh. Screen comes, they go underneath it. Kovervik spins inside the paint. Little dump-off pass to Bussey, now to Holzer. Holzer on the baseline, looking to rip it through, and he traveled with the basketball. Turnover on the Squirrels. Dakota and Boer will check back in for Central Cass. Well, Joseph Wanzik will check back in as they'll let the big man Wilkinson check out. So something a little bit different here in the last 90 seconds or so. Not that high-low game of the 2 bigs, just the 1 big out there right now for Shiloh.
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of big action in the fourth quarter. They both kind of get a rest before a run in the fourth. And you can see that, Shiloh hasn't got the great looks that they had when they were both in there at the same time.
England trying to get walled off by Bachmeyer. Ball goes left-hand side, posting up on the interiors. Wanzik, there's a double team. Wanzik slips it through left-hand side. Three-pointer by Klein is off the mark, and a backside rebound by Boer. And the ball goes out of bounds, deflected, as it will stay Central Cass basketball. Media timeout on the floor, brought to you in part by Bank North. It's values-based banking without ever slowing down. Find a branch near you and go online to ibanknorth.com and check out their mobile app today. Member FDIC and proud supporter of their community. Squirrels up by 3 with the ball when we return.
At the Thompson Public School, their mission is to develop lifelong learners and responsible citizens. You can visit the website tps-k12.org for school announcements and calendars, lunch menus, weather announcements, athletic schedules, and information on the construction project and new addition at the Thompson Public School. Follow them on social media and find Tommy Pride with student updates and events with the Thompson Public Schools. Stay in touch with your children's education or find out why the Thompson Public Schools is right for you. tps-k12.org.
3-point margin here for the Central Cass Squirrels. A 2:40 left in this third quarter. As so far, the 4 points for Central Cass all coming by Cole Holzer. While on the other side, Shiloh, 4 different players with 2 points right now for the Skyhawks. Shiloh, 13 points in the first quarter, 23, make it 10 in the second, 8 in the third for Central Cass. 9 points in the first quarter, 21 in the second, and so far they got 4 in this third quarter of play. 34-31. We've seen an up-and-down game. We've seen the half-court style game. It's been a little bit of everything in this championship race.
It's kind of been a tale of 2 halves. Castleton did a really good job the first half of pushing the pace. In the second half, Shiloh's kind of controlled it, and you've seen each team go on a run when they've been able to dictate that pace of the game.
Central Cass with the basketballs as they come over the stagger. It is Boer, dribble, pullback 3 on the way, off the mark, no rebound with Wiersma, and this one will be, well, almost out of play here. Weston will handle the ball. Well, the Shiloh faithful wanted a foul on Wiersma. Nothing was granted. England working his way on the interior, trying to spin on Boer. Right-handed scoop shot, no. Rebound on the inside. Putback, can't get it to go for Wanzik, and then we're going to have a tie-up. Yes, we will. A jump ball here, and the arrow favors the team clad in red in Central Cass. So Holzer will check back into the game as Wiersma will check out. Shiloh will make a substitution as Emmel will check out of the game. Weston is now in there with Klein as well. And here's your big-to-big with Wilkinson and Wanzik to try to probably close out the third quarter.
Yeah, see if they go on a little run here. They get a stop first. They've had some good looks. They haven't had that big-to-big. I think that's really what they need to get back to.
Kovarevic takes the ball screen here around Holzer. Left-handed layup, no. And there's going to be a foul here on the Shiloh Skyhawks trying to help on the interior. That foul will be on Wanzik. That's Jay's second, team's third, and Kovarevic goes to the free throw line to shoot 2. Kovarevic in this tournament so far, 9 of 11 from the free throw line, has 10 points here tonight.
He's done a great job this whole tournament.
Free throw attempt up and good now with 11. As Bussey returns, Boer will check out for a Central cast, makes it a 2-possession contest. Free throw attempt number 2 upcoming here for Kovarevic. Is up and it's good. Kovarevic with 47 points in this tournament so far for the Squirrels. Full court token pressure defense here for Carter against England. That's been a fun matchup to watch. England right hand side to Weston. Weston rises from 15 feet, got it to go. Wyatt Weston now with 5 as Central Cass sees that deficit back to 3 here for the Skyhawks.
Been around 3 for a long time here, so you can go on the next run.
Kovarevic with the basketball, takes the ball screen by Holzer, left-hand side, now by the top of the key to Holzer. Holzer at the right wing with the basketball, little one-on-one opportunity as Holzer spins inside the paint looking for the slip pass, as that's going to get intercepted by Wanzik.
I don't let him set in that screen with the big to big. Shiloh's switching everything, so get a small out there and switch it big to small.
And there's an end one. Speaking of big to big, it's Wanzik to Wilkinson for the end one opportunity, and the Skyhawks now have a chance to tie at the foul line. Foul will come across here on Carter Maggio, his second and the team's third.
And that's how they've scored this whole quarter, is big to big, and you can see that that's a definite advantage that they have.
Free throw opportunity is up, and it's good, and we're tied at 36 apiece. It's our first tie since it was 15-15 in the second quarter. Central Cass with Sam Kovarevic here. They go underneath the screen. Kovarevic goes left short corner, and then there's going to be an intercepted. Weston gets the steal. Shiloh right now in the front court with Klein. Klein gets by Kovarevic. Klein, little Euro step down the paint, can't get it to go. Rebound gets tipped out in the hands of a Squirrel, and that one will be with Mason Bussey. Bussey looking back door to Kovarevic. Kovarevic baseline, Dakota, right baseline 3 on the way. Got it! Kovarevic with a big-time 3. That's the 7th here for the Squirrels.
Big shot. That's the first time I said Dakota since about the first quarter, but he can knock down those shots.
You nailed it. That's the first points for Dakota since the first quarter, after he had 5 with a triple in the opening stanza. Shiloh looking to take the final shot here of the third quarter. England guarded here by Dakota. Clock down to under 10. England driving kick action. Right-hand side, Wanzik. Wanzik leaves it near side. That'll go to Weston. Weston, baseline 3 on the way for England. Can't get it to go. Holzer with the rebound, and that's how we'll end our third quarter play. And by the way, that shot spun around. It almost came down for the Skyhawks. After 3 quarters, Squirrels up by 3. It's a State B title on your live event.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on YourLiveEvent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on YourLiveEvent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
A reminder on our post-game show, it'll be a little bit elongated here for the simple fact of we'll name the all-tournament team. We'll find out who the senior athlete of the year will be, so all 8 regions will bring their senior athletes of the year out here to get nominated, and from there, we'll try as best as possible, possibly talk with a player or two from the winning team. Plus, our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, our RDK Enterprises Feature Precision Play of the Contest. We got so much stuff to close out our winter sports season here in North Dakota. I'm Chase Miller, he's Bryce Laxdal, and it feels very Marchy inside the Bismarck Event Center here, Bryce, with this basketball game.
Yeah, the last 8 minutes of Class B basketball as we know it here.
As this will be in the front court with England guarded by Bachmeyer. England right to left on the cross, gets by Bachmeyer here, and there's going to be a foul before the block with Holzer. Was it on the ground or was it in the act of shooting? The foul will be on Bachmeyer, and they'll say it's 2 shots. So Bachmeyer will pick up the foul. That's going to be his 3rd and the team's 4th. And Matt Norman is asking if that was a shooting foul or not to our officiating crew. England, free throw attempt is up and good. So 11 now for England. He scored in every quarter and leads the floor for the Skyhawks.
Great job of creating off the bounce there.
England, free throw attempt number 2 is off the mark. Rebound goes to Holzer. So Shiloh now 6 of 10 from the free throw line. Bachmeyer in the front court will handle the rock. Kovervig, top of the key, trying to clear it out with Holzer playing a 2-man game on the near sideline. Kovervig cuts off right short corner now to Holzer. Holzer drives the baseline here through a double team. No, rebound by Holzer, and then we're going to have a foul on the Shiloh Skyhawks. It's coming on a big man, and the one big man it will be is on Wanzik, his 3rd and the team's 4th. So a fresh 35 here on the shot clock now for the Squirrels. Verkota will come through, and then we'll have a foul here, and this trying to come through. The pick set by Bachmeyer, and the foul will be coming on the Skyhawks. So Isaac Emmel now will pick up his 2nd and the team's 5th. Central Cass on the similar inbound play here. Verkota will handle it. Right-hand side to Kovervig. Kovervig at the right wing looking for that little rocker step. Takes the ball screen here for Boer on the pick and pop action. Shiloh does a good job on the closeout. Holzer now at the top of the key with it as he dribbles to the right wing. Holzer right-handed hip-high dribble. There comes a double team. He steps it through, and there's a traveling violation. Good move by Holzer. He saw the double team, but as he picked up his dribble, Bryce just dragged the pivot foot with him.
He's just not used to going up somebody, 6'7" with the body that Wanzik has. It's given him a little bit of problems. I think if he just went hard right downhill and just went to the rim, he'd have a little bit more success. He's trying to kind of dink and dive underneath him, and Wanzik's just big, thick, and strong.
England with the basketball here, man pressure defense. Ball goes right-hand side as that'll go to Klein. Klein to the top of the key. Wanzik on the interior to Wilkinson. Wilkinson spins off the mark. No rebound here for Boer and Central Cass.
Their last 3 shots have been point-blank balls that just rolled around.
Verkota with the basketball in transition. Verkota leaves it left-hand side to Holzer. Back up top now to Kovervig. Kovervig reverses it right in front of their bench to Boer. Comes Verkota down the paint. Verkota goes right to left, gets fouled. And if this is on Wanzik, that'll be his 4th. A nice cut there by Verkota. He kept his body enough, Bryce, before getting off balance to get the contact from Wanzik and pick up the foul and get 2 free throws.
Yep. It was a foul. He got into his body enough.
So Verkota goes to the free throw line. First of 2 on the way is up and good. Verkota now with 9, and this is interesting with 6:33 left to play on how Coach Brad Miller and Shiloh plays this one with their big man here with Wanzik.
You just got to kind of sit down, give him a minute or two, just kind of tell him to regroup. 2 fouls, 2 straight trips down the court and say, hey, we need you, big man, but you got to let some of those go.
Weston on the floor now. Central Cass goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line with Verkota as the Squirrels lead it by 4 right now with 6:30 and counting left in this 4th quarter. England gets by Bachmeyer, and there's going to be a shot off the mark and another point-blank shot for Shiloh. Just able to go. Holzer in transition. Bachmeyer with it. Bachmeyer to the paint off the window. Got it to go.
Great take by Bachmeyer.
Bachmeyer with his first field goal of the game. He's got 4 points here in this one. That is a big 4-point swing, too, Bryce.
Yep, missed a layup on the other side, and that goes right into. Here's a turnover for Castle again. You can feel a run happening.
Kavervig pass to Dakota, gets swiped by Klein. However, here goes England. Baseline open, right pocket 3 for Emmel. Off the front iron, no. Rebound by England, up off the window, good for 2. England now with 13 points here for the Skyhawks, who are back within 4. 5:40 left to play in the fourth quarter. Bachmeier with it, spinning his way on the interior, up and good for an and one. Chase Bachmeier, the junior guard. Have yourself a Saturday Night Fever, Bachmeier. He's got 6.
It kind of feels like the region championship again. He's just an energy bug out there, and he's really turned this game around.
Wiersma will check in. Brewer will check out. Bussey returns to the floor as Kavervig comes out. But yeah, Chase Bachmeier, you mentioned the region title game, how good he was defensively. But right now it's more the offense, particularly in the fourth quarter, as Central Cass misses their first free throw. They're now 8 of 9 from the line. But England's got the step on Bachmeier here, and he's trying to get by him again. There's contact. Nothing is called. It's still loose, and Dakota gets the steal.
Yeah, I just like the no call there. We kind of talked about it before. It can't be nothing. It's got to be a block or a charge.
Holzer goes down the other end of the floor, and there's a foul. Holzer will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 here. We'll have a media timeout upcoming. Foul will come across here on Atticus Wilkinson, his first and the team's 8th. The Squirrels up by 6 with 5:10 left to play in the fourth quarter. It's the State B Championship on YourLiveEvent.com.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Media timeouts brought to you in part by our friends, as you just heard right there, Bank North, member FDIC and proud supporter of their communities. Chase Bachmeier with both field goals so far in this quarter for the Central Cass Squirrels, while Canyon England with all 3 points for the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. Reminder, at the 6:30 mark of this quarter, Wanzik, the big man on the inside, the 6'7" senior, picked up his 4th foul. So this kind of favors Central Cass, if you will, not having to maybe worry about that big man to big man action. And we saw it right off the bat, Bryce, in the third quarter, but we haven't really seen it a lot since the opening 2 minutes of the half of that high-low game for Shiloh offensively.
No, you definitely could feel a switch in the momentum of the game when they were getting that high-low and those easy looks at the basket. No, when Shiloh looks back at this game right now, if they end up losing, they're gonna know that they had chances, and they just didn't take the friendly roll.
Holzer free throw attempt is up and good now with 8 points here for the Squirrels. Second free throw attempt on the way for Central Cass as they're up by 7. Holzer, the lefty, calm, cool, collective at the free throw line, buries both of them. That has been a stat stuffer right now. That could be our RDK Enterprises feature precision play of the match, Bryce. 10 of 11 for Central Cass from the free throw line.
Yep, that's been huge.
The Central Cass faithful clad in red on their feet inside the Bismarck Event Center, making some noise. Ball goes right-hand side to Weston, and there's going to be a foul here as they're trying to post up the big man on the interior. And Wilkinson, Wiersma trying his best as possible to hog tie him and keep him in front. But there's going to be a foul here with Wiersma.
Yeah, the second half they've called those, across the lane, stuff like that. They was getting a little bit physical, and they've got a good job of cleaning that up.
Shiloh will inbound the basketball here with England. Bounce pass, that goes to Atticus Wilkinson, and then almost it's a steal. Bounce pass to the left-hand side goes Klein. 3 off the mark, no rebound by Holzer. Here's England, though, to stay with it on the right pocket. England on the right baseline, and Brad Miller wants a timeout as Bussey kind of had his man in England boxed into a corner with 4:45 left to play here in this fourth quarter. That'll be a timeout by the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks as they will have 2 remaining. Well, for Central Cass, they will have 3 remaining. So 47-39, if you would take a shot chart out for Shiloh, Bryce, they've missed not necessarily bunnies, but they missed really good looks, even if it's been contested about 5 feet and in a lot here in the last 6 minutes of game action.
Yeah, and they've missed shots that we've seen them make all tournament and all year. I think you're expecting contact when you go up. Maybe it's a little bit of that. Maybe it's a little bit of jitters. Maybe it's a little bit of, legs after the third day. But or maybe it's a combination of all of them, but they've definitely had some great looks that they just missed opportunities.
Shiloh with 4 losses on the season. Central Cass 25-0, but all that matters is who's going to close off the next 4 minutes and 45 seconds of regulation. Bounce pass to the top of the key. That goes Klein. Klein bounce pass across the way, gets it right back after the deflection and off the hands. And here's the big-to-big action now with Wanzik stepping in here for Shiloh.
Yeah, they're trying to. They figure that he's sat long enough right now. They need him in there. They need his ability to score. They want to go back down to that big look. He just needs to know on defense, not to get a silly foul and take himself out of this game completely.
Verkota left wing with the basketball, right-handed hip high dribble to Wiersma. Wiersma looking for a teammate as they're really face guarding right now. Kovarevic there with Klein. Right-hand side goes Verkota. Shot clock to 15 seconds. Verkota takes a ball screen at the high post. Verkota to the left block, looking back door, finds Holzer top of the key. Holzer with 8 seconds drive. Nice little step through high, and it can't finish. Rebound, Holzer, put back, got it to go, and there's the foul. Holzer with 2 free throw opportunities. Wilkinson will pick him the foul, his second, and the team's 9th. And from here on out, the Squirrels are in the double bonus.
That's big because if this score stays like this, at some point Shiloh's going to have to foul, and they're going to be getting 2 every single time.
Free throw opportunity here for Holzer. Free throw is up, and free throw is good. Going back to Shiloh, their 6 losses. They lost 3 straight early part of January to Oak Grove, Rapid City Central, and Beulah. Their last loss came to the Lax Burlington on Valentine's Day, 58-49. And while you kind of look up, it feels like maybe that kind of game from a Skyhawk point of view.
Yep.
Largest lead of the game for the Squirrels at 10. Shiloh needs to answer. Right-hand side, England. This has been the money man. England halfway down, no rebound. Wilkinson put back, and he gets fouled. Atticus Wilkinson with some pogo sticks there to come up inside the paint. He gets mugged. The foul comes across Verkota, his first and the team's 6th.
For a big guy, he does have a really nice vertical, especially off of 2 feet, just standing underneath the hoop. He can really get up quick.
Free throw opportunities here for Shiloh Christian. Free throw is up, and it's good. Wilkinson now with 11 points as Boer and Bachmeyer return, as Wiersma and Bussey will check out of the game for Central Cass. Free throw attempt number 2 upcoming here for the Skyhawks. This to Trimmett. To an 8-point contest. Free throw is up, and free throw is good. Substitution here with Weston. And the Skyhawks now are going to have some full court pressure defense. And more than likely, Bryce, we'll see this maybe a little offense defensive substitution from here on out for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you're going to see.
Bachmeyer, England on the guard. Chase, double team comes. And we're going to have a foul here with Shiloh. Foul in the backcourt with Isaac Emmel, his 3rd, team's 10th. And Bachmeyer will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Bachmeyer 2 of 3 so far in the contest with 6 points. Will go to the foul line here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Squirrels trying to do something they haven't done in 55 years, and that's win a state title, while Shiloh trying to get the, if you would, lid off the rim, both figuratively here in the half, but also in program history, never winning a state title either.
I was talking to somebody today, and they said they have a finish at the 2nd through the 8th spot. Number 1 spot's the only spot they haven't finished.
As free throw attempt here for Bachmeyer. Misses the first, second one upcoming here. They've been here a ton before, and they've been here a lot in the last decade plus. They've really owned Region 5. Free throw is up and good, though, for Bachmeyer here. He's got 9 in the Central Cass Squirrels, and Bachmeyer, he's been the X factor in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, he's led the charge. He's definitely been the difference maker.
England right-hand side. That'll go to Klein at the right wing. High post touch to Wanzik. Wanzik right to left, back to Klein. Between the rings, down the paint, off the window. Can't get it to go. And a board at Kovarevic.
Another point blank shot. They just haven't been able to convert.
And now all of a sudden, if you're Central Cass, Bryce, you can really start minimizing the clock right now with the 9-point lead, with where we are, with the time and where we are in the game.
Yeah, I think you might see a timeout here at some point and just kind of talk that exact thing over, and nothing but layups and really use up that clock.
Boer, left wing 3, partially blocked by Wanzik, goes down to Bachmeyer, rips it through, shot fake, throws it up, can't get it to go. Ball gets tipped by Holzer, back up top to Verkota, and a fresh 35 on the shot clock.
They can really use up a lot of clock now.
Holzer rips it through, takes a couple hard dribbles down the paint, left-handed layup for 2. Holzer now with 13 points in the contest. Shiloh's got to go. It's their largest deficit here at 11. England with the basketball. Wanzik looking for the up and over. Can't get it to go. Now it's to Klein. Klein hangs off the window. No. Rebound with Holzer to save it before it goes off the baseline here. Here goes Shiloh trying to get to steal. Kovarevic handles it, and now the Squirrels have numbers. Kovarevic down the paint, drive and kick. Boer right baseline three, and there's the dagger.
That could be it. That's a big-time shot. It might be over now.
Boer now with 9. The assist to Kovarevic. It's 14 points, and we have a foul here with Bachmeier. That could potentially be an early dagger here in this one. That's Bachmeier's 4th, the team's 7th. Shiloh needs something to go through the basket, and they will go to the free throw line here to shoot the make one to get one. The Skyhawks, Bryce, been limited to 1 field goal and 5 points here in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just haven't converted on their opportunities, and Castleton's taking advantage of it.
Media timeout on the floor. The Central Cast faithful on their feet. Central Cast 2-14 away from trying to win a title, but the Skyhawks with some time still left in this game to trim it in, but they need about everything to go right for them moving forward. It's the championship on your live events.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Many factors impact your ability to increase profits on the farm. Make sure your planter is an asset and not a liability. Some limiting factors in making the perfect planter pass are row maintenance, meter calibration, and downforce management. It will not cost you anything to have the conversation about identifying those limiting factors. Call RDK Enterprises 701-636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Take a good look at Hillsborough. You probably know that the people are friendly, and you know about the quality of healthcare available at Sanford Medical Center. Maybe you've been to the Hillsborough Sports Complex to cheer on the Burros. Look at the businesses on Hillsborough's Main Street. The Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation provides financial help to local child care providers, and they're interested in supporting local businesses. For more information, contact the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation at growhillsboroughnd.com.
Since Wanza picked up his 4th foul and it was 41-37, Central Cast with 6:30 left to play. The Squirrels are on a 14-4 run. Now make it a 14-5 run with a free throw up and good on the way here for the Shiloh Skyhawks. As Klein buries free throw attempt number 1, second free throw attempt upcoming here for Shiloh. Time's not on their side. They need a lot to go right. Missed the free throw. Rebound on the interior here to Holzer. Holzer's got 3 Skyhawks around him, and now the Squirrels have to just really take the pressure and just continue to hold on to the basketball, Bryce, and just have really good possessions.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not fouling here. You got to get possessions here.
Kovarevic goes to the paint, can't finish. Rebound goes to Shiloh, and here's a little spark for the Skyhawks. Klein in the front court here, goes behind the back, right to left, cross to England. England back to Klein here at the top of the key. Klein inside the paint, leaves it now to Weston. Weston rises, 12-footer on the way. Can't get it to go. Rebound, skied for by Holzer. Kovarevic will hand the basketball, but time again getting down to 90 seconds.
It's a minute now.
Central Cast left-hand side, Holzer with the basketball. Shiloh's going to start double teaming and getting in passing lanes. There's a skip to Kovarevic. England trying his best as possible, and there's going to be a foul. So England picks up the foul. That'll be Caden's 3rd, his first since the second half, and Kovarevic will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Kovarevic with 12 points, and you made a mention, Bryce, potentially could put his name in the hat, I think, for sure for what he did last night and what he's doing tonight as maybe the MVP of the tournament.
Yeah, he definitely would have my vote. He's done a great job, and like I said before, I voted him for Senior Athlete of the Year out of Region 1 just because of what he's done in his career. He's played in a lot of big games, a lot of region a couple of region championships, semifinals every year, and then he's come here and he can do so much, and so much of the stuff that you just don't notice, the charges, the deflections, and then he just runs this team. And, you know, that one layup he took the previous possession is honestly the only mistake I can remember him making throughout the entire postseason. I've watched him play every game.
Kovarevic goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Left-hand side now to England inside the paint. Nice step through, gets it to go, and the time on the floor. We'll keep it here. Timeout with Brad Miller to stop the clock. England now with 15 points to lead the floor for the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. Well, for the Central Cast Squirrels, they're 1:10 or 70 seconds away from trying to close this one out. Central Cast with 18 points in the quarter, while for the Shiloh Skyhawks, they currently have 8. And that three-pointer by Boer, Bryce, he's hit 3 of them, but all 3 were large, both in the second and that one in the fourth quarter.
Yep, he's been big for him. And kind of Dakota hit 3. And then you get Bachmeyer coming in and being the energy boost that he's given them. They've just had a complete team effort, and it's how we've talked about their ability to win any game, any type of game. Somebody else always steps up. That's what has made them. They're going to be an undefeated team here and win a state championship. There's only been a handful of teams that have ever done that, and they're going to be up there with the greatest teams of all time.
The Central Cass Squirrels in Region 1 on top of it has had such a tremendous season here in the state in a lot of sports, and they're trying to cap it here in this winter season as well. Holzer in the front court after they break the press. Klein will pick up the foul, his second. And going back to that point, Bryce, Northern Cass in this very venue, Region 1 volleyball champs. Central Cass Squirrels able to win the Class B girls basketball title. The Central Cass boys are trying to do the same thing here. There's just been on the eastern side of the state, I've said it to a lot of people, from a Class B standpoint, and now I know it's going to change in basketball. From a Class B standpoint, we're really spoiled in the Red River Valley.
Yeah, like you said, completely spoiled. We have tons and tons of great players, great teams, individuals all over the place. And, I mean, it's just really fun basketball to watch, and that's what we talk about every night in Region 1. And it's just, you never know what you're going to get. There's great competition all over the place.
Holzer goes 2 for 2 from the line. Largest lead here for Central Cass. The Squirrels under 60 seconds trying to get the steal. It'll stay with the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. Tied at 36, and since that point, it's been a red wave, if you will, inside the Bismarck Event Center. Shiloh, England, three-pointer right wing off the mark. Havervig will let that one go out of play, and now it's starting to sink in a little bit here as Matt Norman going to make sure he just kind of gets some guys in, double check to make sure everything is good with potential substitutions. Nope, we're going to say let it play. And Brad Miller right now is just saying no fouls to his team, down by 15, understands time in the situation for the Central Cass Squirrels. Havervig just probing, leave it right-hand side. Holzer, shot fake. Again, time more of the precious part that Central Cass, they don't need to score. They can gladly waste 35 seconds. Holzer gives it to Wiersma, who's got his first field goal of the tournament. Shiloh was jumping the passing lanes as he would, trying to chase the game. They just left Wiersma open. England right-hand side, right baseline, three-pointer off the front iron, no. Rebound dug out by Holzer. Central Cass just needs to bring this one in the front court, and the realization of a state championship comes to fruition for Matt Norman and the Central Cass Squirrels. The Squirrels bookend the B with a girls' title and an undefeated boys' title. The Central Cass Squirrels are the champs of the 2023 state basketball tournament. It's a sea of red inside the Bismarck Event Center. The Central Cass Squirrels go a perfect 26-0 with a 61-44 victory over the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. What a season for head coach Matt Norman in his 8th year to bring this team, who had a lot of expectations, and rightfully so, on him coming into the year, Bryce. They had a lot of guys coming back. Tyler Cruchet suffers an injury in football, but they still found a way from the start of the season to where they are right now as champs. And talking with head coach Matt Norman before the game, I asked him about November to where they are right now, about the resiliency and how this team was able to go through. He said a lot of heart. The guys get after it in practice, and what they were able to do here in Bismarck. Warwick wasn't pretty. They had to come back from 5 points. Then in the semifinals against Alex Burlington, they were down 10 after the first quarter. But in this one, Bryce, Central Cass had to play their best basketball, and they did it at the most opportune time. This was their best game here in Bismarck.
Yeah, really a smothering defensive performance. They did a really great job. And, kind of hats off to the coaching staff and Matt Norman. He did a great job all year. You talked about it. They had the X on their back the whole year. They were, coming to the year, they were, in my opinion, the best team in the state, and they proved that the entire year. And that's not easy. You're going to get every team's best shot every single night. And they found different ways to win. And, hats off to Shiloh, too. Like we talked about, they finished in every position here but first. I think they've been here 17 years here. The last couple decades, they've really dominated. And, it's tough to see that somebody had to lose, but you can't hang your head. Castleton really came out, and they stuck it to you. They earned it, and I think they were, the better team.
Yeah, without question, as we'll get to our Enbridge Energy player of the game in this one, and it's going to be tough not to give it to a Holzer. I mean, double-double performance. Bryce with 15 points, 14 rebounds. Bachmeyer was awfully huge. Verkota started it. Kavervig was able to go right through into the middle as well. I mean, if you want to say an Enbridge Energy player, I think you can name the whole team, because for Matt Norman, it was balanced throughout the season, and it was balanced again here tonight for the Squirrels.
Yep, I would say everybody found a way to contribute, and that's what made them a great team, and that's what's got them this championship, and that would kind of only be fitting for everybody to kind of get it, on the last game of the season. That,
again, is our Enbridge Energy players of the game. Life takes Enbridge Energy. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities here in this one. Now to our RDK Enterprises feature precision play of the contest, and it's the threes, quite frankly. Central Cass goes 8 of 16 from the free throw line, and they out-rebound Shiloh plus 13.
Wow.
36-23. Yep. Shiloh goes 3 of 21 from the land of three. Bryce, those two numbers, I don't care who you play. If that's the case, you're probably not going to win a lot of basketball games.
When you make more free throws than the other team attempts, that's you're going to win about 99% of your games just on that stat alone.
And to your point, 17 and 19 for the Squirrels. Shiloh goes 9 of 14 from the free throw line. Those are our RDK Enterprises feature precision plays of the contest. Get ready for the spring planting season with RDK Enterprises. For maintenance, parts, and upgraded options, they can help. Spring will be here before you know it. Let the folks at RDK Enterprises meet the challenge with you. Contact RDK Enterprises at planterdoc.com. The realization comes full circle for both of these teams. For head coach Matt Norman and the Central Cass Squirrels, 3 seniors, Sam Kavervig, Mason Bussey, and alongside with them, Owen Wiersma will go out as champs in the Final B tournament. 26-0, they will finish it off. While for the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks, and for head coach Brad Miller, giving some fist pumps and some handshakes and some bear hugs here for the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks, they will finish 22-5, and still that ever-elusive state title eludes them one more time. The Squirrels win the first state title since 1968 and their third in program history. Coming up, we'll get to our state basketball all-tournament team. Also from there, we'll take a look at the Region Senior Athlete of the Year, the Mr. Basketball in the state of North Dakota. That goes out to Derek Dissett from Minot High. Final thing on this one, Bryce, what can you say one more time about the Central Cass Squirrels and what they were able to do here in Bismarck this weekend?
Oh, it was impressive, right? They got, the best shot from kind of the Cinderella story, the underdog in the first night. They had, the entire building kind of cheering against them. Everybody kind of finds themselves cheering for the underdog. They find a way to overcome that. Last night against a team that runs a ton of sets, they found a way to get it done and pressure their guards again tonight. And then a team tonight that likes to pound it inside, they found a way to make every single team uncomfortable and score in ways every single time down the court, that they're not used to scoring in. And when you get to a state tournament, every team is so good. You have to make those guys shoot shots they're not comfortable shooting, whether it's inside going to a right shoulder or if it's off the dribble to a left. You run them off the three-point line, you pressure them. You create turnovers, and you turn that turnovers into offense, and that's what made them so good, and that's how they controlled the game tonight.
As right now they are going to go over the all-tournament team here in this one. Jacob Starcevic from Thompson, Mark Fassett Jr. from the Warwick Warriors. You're also going to have from here, 2 of them. Beauchamp from Beulah. Tyson Inget from Powers Lakeburg Central. From Thompson, you're going to have Drew Overby. Joshua Mosier from Medina Pingree Buchanan. Carson Yale from Delax Burlington. From Shiloh Christian, Kyler Klein. From Shiloh Christian, Jay Wanzik. Cole Holzer from Central Cass. And also from Central Cass will be Sam Kavervig. So both the Skyhawks and the Squirrels are able to get 2 of them. And here's your tournament MVP. That is Sam Kavervig, and everybody off the bench giving Sam a fist pump, a little bit of a handshake, and the realization is coming full circle for the senior. And Bryce, you nailed it right on the head about in the second quarter, saying he could very well be your MVP, and he showed you the reason why here for 3 games inside the event center.
No, he just did a great job controlling the game. That's what he always does. That's why I've been so impressed with him, over the years, seeing him all the time playing in Region 1. He's just cool, calm, collective. He's just super smart, and, he doesn't always score a ton. He doesn't need to score a ton. He could. If he came and played for me, he'd score a ton. But he doesn't need to on this team, and that's what makes him so great. He understands his role just like everybody else on this team, and, they're really going to miss his leadership next year. They're still going to be a great team. They bring a ton back, going into that middle class, that middle division next year, but they're going to miss him, and, just his leadership and the little things that don't show up in a stat book is what he does a good job of bringing to the table every night.
So we'll get to the coaches athlete senior of the year, and we'll also from there get to the coach of the year in the state of North Dakota as well. Hatfield from Fargo Oak Grove is your Region 1. From Region 2, Aiden Stainbrook from North Border. As they get the other out here, Bryce, let's talk about the two guys from the east in Stainbrook and Hatfield. That is a lot of offensive efficiency with those two guys.
Yeah, I coached against both of them this year and over the last few years, and they both know how to put the ball in the hole from a really efficient standpoint. They're really great basketball players, and this will be interesting. Vote here. I think Stainbrook is really a great player. You've got a guy that's been at state a few times, and Tyson Inglet from Powers Lake. Those are kind of my two favorite. Feller's been really good too. It'll be interesting here.
As they have all the guys come out here, Tyson Inglet, we saw Mr. Basketball finalists have a really good, not just career, but also weekend here inside the Bismarck Event Center.
Yeah, averaged 27, 5, and 5 or something like that.
Yeah, just ridiculous numbers for a guy from the Rancher. As this one will come across here, and we'll find out here 2023 Coaches Association Senior Athlete Player of the Year is Aiden Stainbrook from North Border. He was part of our Mr. Basketball finalists here in the state of North Dakota. So Aiden will be your 2023 Class B Senior Athlete of the Year here in North Dakota, and a guy from North Border that played the last couple of seasons in the Pembina-Walhalla area here for the Eagles, and able to have a really good standout career. I know from a team standpoint, fell short a couple of times in the region tournament, but they had a lot of talent and really good players up in North Border here, Bryce.
Yeah, they've had a really good run. And he's a really, really good player. If you haven't seen him play, that's a well-deserved award, and I think he probably is the one that deserved it the most.
So we still have the plaques to give out. We still have the Coaches Association to give out a little bit here as well, and we'll take a look at the final numbers here in a moment when they start honoring the players here at Center Circle in terms of the final individual and team numbers here in this contest. The Senior Athlete of the Year, again, is Aiden Stainbrook from North Border. While for the Coach of the Year here in Class B Boys Basketball, Jeremy Brent. Brent, again, from the Beulah Miners, and I think he might have lost his voice this weekend, and I mean that in a good way. A guy that's constantly preaching, constantly yelling in good things to his team. The Beulah Miners finished third place. We're ever so close from playing in this championship game potentially against the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. And Jeremy Brandt is your Coach of the Year here in the state of North Dakota.
Yeah, he's going to have a nice team again next year too. I know they move up into that middle division too, but he's got a lot of young guys coming back, and he's been coaching a long time, and he always does a great job. He's a guy that I kind of have always kind of mirrored my coaching style after. I think he preaches a lot of defense, preaches a lot of good things. He's tough on his kids. He demands a lot of them, but you see his kids in the huddle and after games, and you know that they love each other, and that there's only one way to build that, and that's great relationships. You'll go to bat for his kids anytime, anywhere.
For the Central Cass Squirrels, they would finish with 15 points with Cole Holzer and 14 rebounds, his second double-double of the tournament. Holzer would finish with 39 rebounds in 3 games here for Central Cass. 14 points for Sam Covervig, goes 6 of 6 from the foul line. 10 points then with Carter of Dakota, 9 on the way for Eli Boer, 7 for Bachmeyer, 2 apiece for Bussey, and 2 for Wiersma and Carter Maggio as well here for the Central Cass Squirrels. For the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks, 13 points for Caden England and 7 rebounds, 12 points for Atticus Wilkinson with 6 boards, 7 points for Wyatt Weston, 5 on the way for Kyler Klein with 4 rebounds, 3 here for Isaac Emmel, and 4 points for Wanzik, 4 points and 3 boards. He did have to play with a little bit of foul trouble there in the second half. Central Cass 43% shooting from the floor, 8 of 16 from 3, going 17 of 19. What a stat from the free throw line in the title game. Shiloh goes 34% shooting from the floor, 3 of 21 from the Land of Arc, and 9 of 14 from the charity stripe. Central Cass, as they had to do, Bryce, in every game, had to erase a deficit of some point. Down at 5 against Warwick with 8 minutes left to play. Down by 10 against the Lax Burlington in the opening quarter. Down by 4 after 1 quarter of play here to Shiloh. So not the quote-unquote cardiac pack like Jimmy V when you think of Red sometimes, but a team that, hey, when they got punched in the mouth, they found a way to respond time and time again.
No, exactly. They found a way to punch back, and that's, a credit to the coaching staff and Matt Norman to, make some adjustments and figure some things out, and then getting the team to play the same type of game that they played all year. And obviously they had a great group of guys, and they'll have a great group again next year, but this is obviously a special team to go undefeated like that.
As the teams and coaches are getting honored one more time here for the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. They just came out and got everything done, and I just want to say a little bit here with Coach Brand Miller, again, his 7th season for Shiloh. Now 137 wins, 45 losses here, and he's found a way. It's one thing when you're the one hunting, but it's the one thing when you're the one being hunted a lot of times, Bryce, and he was able to get Shiloh to a state tournament more times than not. I know they're unable to cut down the nets, if you will, but a team that almost without the pencil you penned in year after year in Region 5 to make the state tournament.
Yeah, they're almost a shoe-in every single year I think they've played, and if they didn't make it, they're definitely in the region championship, and they're always solid, and he does a great job of coaching. They're definitely a well-coached team.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the pitchers coming on the floor, and then we'll try to hear from 1 or 2 players as well. That's all coming up here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Bank of North Dakota wants you to be confident when it's time to make student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident to calculate the maximum amount of student loan debt that is recommended based on your career choice. You can also learn how to apply for financial aid and get tips to cut education expenses. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident today.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Well, for the Central Cass Squirrels, they've done something for the first time since the 93-94 season in Class B basketball, and that is winning both the B boys and the B girls state tournaments in North Dakota in the Class B ranks. The last one to do it was Greg Lemke's Bishop Ryan Lions when girls basketball was played in the fall, and in the winter then you had the boys side. Now it's both boys and girls here in the winter. This one more time is the final Class B boys basketball tournament as we know it, as we'll go to 3 classes next season. There will still be Class B, there will still be Class A, there's going to be Double A, so really the metro schools of Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, and Grand Forks going to be there. Class A will be the likes of Central Cass, Shiloh, a little bit of Devil's Lake, Kindred, Wahpeton, Beulah, Hazen, Lax Burlington will be in there, and then Class B will go from there. So that's what it's going to be coming up in next season as both teams are honoring their awards. Now all that is left is to get the team awards here in this one for the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks and the Central Cass Squirrels, as Shiloh Christian again will finish 22 7-5 on the season. They will finish runners-up back-to-back times, and they made a state championship game. They did so in overtime to Thompson from the Minot State Dome in 2019. Well, for the Central Cass Squirrels, for the first time since 1968, Central Cass will come out and earn the trophy in front of their fans. And now the celebratory celebration begins, and in earnest, here from the Bismarck Event Center, as they will get their team trophy, and they'll get their media award as well. Take some photos, and then we will try to hear from one or two particular members of the Central Cass basketball team before we bid adieu inside the Bismarck Event Center. Want to say, before we bid adieu, just want to say first things first, there's a lot of people to thank on these broadcasts, whether it's our audio only or our visual broadcasts, as this will be the final one before we get to the spring season in North Dakota. From everyone at Halstead Telephone Company, from those within R&J Broadcasting, from the Jim Burkmeyers of the world to the Mark Forsess, Kevin Kochmans, Jake Burkmeyers, everyone on our staff, from those who have done one or two games, whether it's been cameras, or those who have done some freelance work for us, to those who have done a whole lot throughout the year. Thanks to all the ADs, thanks to you listening at home, and thanks to all of our great sponsors, whether it was within this tournament or other tournaments as well, because without them, we just would unable to really do this type of product and be this type of program and system and be here for the Thompson Tommy games and the Central Cass Squirrels in Minot and what we were able to do here in Bismarck as well. So there is a lot of people to thank, and we just wanted to make sure before we get off the air that we allow those people to be recognized one more time with the product that is there, and make sure you patronize and sponsor those that allow us to cover these games and bring these sights and sounds to those that are tuning in at home from a time or two. Central Cass fans are making their way onto the court. They will have a chance to cut down the nets here for the Squirrels, and they will also have an opportunity to get a bear hug from family members, students, and a whole lot more, as they will come out and take the team photo here in a moment for Central Cass. Going back into this contest, Shiloh was leading after one quarter play, 13-9, tied at 15. Central Cass got up by 7 at the half. Then it got to 36, tied at 36 with 1:08 left to play in the third quarter. And then after that point, the Squirrels would only give up 8 points for the remainder 9 minutes and 8 seconds of the contest, while Central Cass would score 25 points. So a 25-8 run for the Central Cass Squirrels to close out the 2023 State Class B Boys Basketball Tournament. The Squirrels win it by 17 points over the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. As the team photo is coming out right now with all the pomp and circumstance here in this one, as this will come away. And for Central Cass, from the assistant coaches to the trainers to the cheerleaders to the student managers, statisticians, and all the players, as you can imagine, a grin that goes literally ear to ear and a mile wide here. The Central Cass Squirrels, runners up in the state football, able to be the champs in girls basketball, the champs in boys basketball. Taking a look at what the spring was, the Central Cass softball team won the state title. Taking a look at track and field for the Central Cass girls, won the team title in Bismarck. If it's been read, Central Cass has really found a way to honor and have these players and teams have a lot of success in one way or another here throughout the last couple of seasons, and give a lot of credit to Travis Lamar and his crew and those that work within the Central Cass School District as well. So here's what happened today inside the Bismarck Event Center. The 7th place game goes to Medina Pingree Buchanan, 66-51 over Warwick. The 5th place game went to the Thompson Tommies with the win over Powers Lake Burke Central. Third place went to the Beulah Miners, 66-57, and the Central Cass Squirrels win at 61-44 over the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. Sam Kovervig is your tournament MVP. Cole Holzer is on the all-tournament team as well. Your senior athlete of the year from North Border is Stainbrook, and your coach of the year from Beulah is Jeremy Brandt. So those are some of the particulars here in this one. As for the Central Cast Squirrels, join us now getting on the headsets is going to be the junior. That is Chase Bachmeyer here. As Chase, you were able to get 5 points in the fourth quarter. Let's just talk about the physicality of these last couple of games, right? The semifinals were a dogfight against Elax Burlington. You close out the contest, Chase, the last 9 minutes on a 25-8 run against Shiloh. What was working for you guys, at least to be disruptive against Shiloh's offensive sets here, Chase?
I'd say it was the full court pressure D. I mean, once we got into their grill, they kind of forced the ball and got out of control. And then us taking the ball over and pushing it every time, getting wide open layups. Not just playing a weave offense. We were cutting, moving the ball, and that allowed us to score.
And take us through the fourth quarter. A couple really nice moves to get inside the paint. You got to the free throw line, but able to finish as well. What was working for you offensively with that downhill mentality in the fourth quarter?
I think it was just confidence. I wanted it. I wanted to win. I didn't want to lose, and that's what happened.
How sweet is this one? How sweet is this, Chase, to be a state champ with this group in 2022, 2023?
It feels amazing. We put in so much work during the off season, and I know the city of Castleton's going to be proud of us boys.
Yeah, there was a lot of red in here tonight. There was a lot of success. Final thing for you, Chase. How about Sam Kovervig, tournament MVP? When you guys were able to hear that, what's kind of going through your mind celebrating a teammate and the type of season that he had?
Oh, he deserves it. He puts in so much work during the season, and he's always pushing us. He's one of the best captains we've had, and I mean, he's just a dog. He plays.
Hey, Chase, congratulations on a state championship. We'll allow you to hand off the headsets to Eli here.
Thank you.
That again, Chase Bachmeyer joined us here for the Central Cast Squirrels. As join us now from Central Cast is going to be Eli Boer. And Eli, you got some big-time threes. Take us through in the second quarter. A couple of shots going over Wanzik, a 6'7" frame. It probably felt like you had to shoot over the Grand Canyon or the Great Wall of China a little bit. Eli, what was kind of going through your mind and rhythm there in the second quarter?
Yeah, I mean, I knew these guys were going to come out and face guard me a little bit. I mean, I haven't been shooting well at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, but I mean, Wanzik got his revenge, went back in there and got me a little bit of stuff, but I mean, it feels great. I mean, I didn't think I was deep that deep, but yeah, it feels great.
You mentioned Wanzik. What was it like playing with those guys, with Wilkinson and Wanzik across the way, trying to bang on the inside with where you are and where those guys are, and trying to take that high-low game as much as possible away from them here this evening, Eli?
Yeah, I mean, being a little bit undersized, I mean, I just try to be aggressive with, I mean, everybody that's got a little bit of height advantage on me. I mean, those guys are really good. Those guys definitely got some height and weight on me a bit. I mean, I felt I held my ground. I mean, it feels great that, I don't know, I held my ground, but it feels good.
Take us through the three-pointer at 2:14 left to play in the fourth quarter. You get up by 14 points. There's the drive. You're on the baseline. When that puppy goes off, it goes through. What's going through your mind a little bit here, Eli, in terms of the euphoria probably in the gym to know that you're one step closer of finally cutting down the nets?
Yeah, I mean, I knew Sam was. He's been driving a lot in that game. I mean, he was due for me to kick, or due for him to kick it out to me in the corner. I mean, we were scouting that, and I went there. I knew Sam would get me the ball in the right spot. And I mean, he got it right where I like it, and I shot it. I mean, I knew it was good right when I left my hand, and I pointed at my mom and dad, and it means dream come true.
How sweet is it to win a state championship?
Oh, it means the world. I mean, we've been thinking about this ever since we were little boys, watching them coming out of the region, 2012, all of them. We were just, I mean, it's dream come true. This is what we work for ever since we were little kids.
Eli, congratulations. We'll allow you to go one more over on the media car wash here.
All right, thank you.
That again, Eli Boer here for the Central Cast Squirrels, able to pick up the victory, as we're going to be joined out by one of the three members of the senior class here in Owen Wiersma. And Owen, you got the final bucket of the state championship game. Just take us, what did it take to scrap one out for 4 quarters of basketball here against a team that has 2 big hog mollies on the inside in the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks?
You know, it was tough, but I was able to go out there, put my body on them, just work hard, even though they're 5-6 inches taller than me. Just go out there, work hard. I believe that hard work always beats the talent.
Owen Wiersma with us here. Owen, what did it take this tournament? You were down in the quarters, you were down in the semis, and you were down in the championship game. What was it about this team to take a punch, but also kind of, so to speak, deliver a punch?
Yeah, we all just had to come together, work as a team. We knew that not one person was just going to bring us back into these games. And once we started working together as a team, doing what we've been doing all year, we were able to get back in these games and just win them all.
And this is one thing, I mean, at any particular time, Carter Dakota 5 points in the first quarter kind of got things going. Sam, obviously. Then here goes Bachmeyer making his way down the paint. At any given time, and I've said this to you guys before, balance. But balance was the name of the game from December to here on out. What was it about this team, unselfishness at any one time, Owen, to be that guy, whether it's defense, offense, or somewhere in between?
Yeah, you know, everybody on this team, we just care about winning. We don't care about we're not selfish. We just care about winning. We don't care about our own stats. We just look at the win, no stats. And for me personally, I just know I got to go out there, work hard on these big guys that they always put me up against. Yeah, that's about all.
How sweet is this to win a state championship?
It's great. I know I couldn't get it done in football. I knew I couldn't go up here and be another state runner-up. That would have just broke my heart, but it was fantastic.
Hey, Owen, congratulations on a tremendous season. Best of luck moving forward at MSUM coming up in the fall.
Thank you.
That again, Owen Wiersma joined us here from the Central Cast Squirrels as we'll continue our carousel of Central Cast players making their way through here on Media Roll. Cole Hoser, you're a state champ. How sweet does that feel and sound here this season?
It's so awesome. I've been dreaming about this for so long since I was just a little kid playing with all these guys, and it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing to get that done.
Yeah, you got another double-double here in this one with, we're just going to make sure we got the proper points, 15 points, 14 rebounds. Take us through what did it have to do to battle through the guys of Wilkinson and Wanzik to just find a ways to grab loose balls and grab it at the rim.
Yeah, we talked about before the game. They're both big, great players, and we talked about how we got to keep them off the boards. A lot of second chance points. They do great on that, so everyone's working. I'm glad everyone can get that done. Glad everyone can get that done, box out, and keep working.
And then at the end of the day, yourself, Sam Kovervig, all-tournament team, what does it mean with you to be on there, but also a senior and the tournament MVP in Sam Kovervig? What does that mean to you?
That means everything. I've been playing with Sam for so long. Even though he's a year older, I play with him in a lot of tournaments and stuff like that. And I'm so glad we get that done. And I'm so happy for him that he's MVP, and I'm so glad how hard he's worked for so long and everything.
I was talking with Matt Norman. Final thing for you here, Cole. I was talking with Matt Norman before the game, and I said, what is it about this team? What's a trait? And he goes, you know, the heart that they have for each other, love that you see. Yeah, you might be chirping at each other in practice and trying to make each other better, but that's your brother on the other side. You're going to have some fights along the way. Does that come full circle on a feeling like this to win a state championship when that embrace came, when the horn went up and everybody was able to rush the court? Did that just kind of come full circle for this season?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely keep a lot of energy. Even in practice when we're chirping at each other, we're in the locker room making jokes to each other right after that. So it's huge. It's great energy. I hope we can keep it next year in good locker room environment, stuff like that. And it's obviously helped us win this.
Yeah, 26-0 on the season. State Class B champs. Cole, congratulations, and enjoy this one, and best of luck moving forward.
Yeah, thank you.
That again, Cole Holzer here for the Central Cast Squirrels, as Central Cast again will go undefeated and get to 26-0 here on the season. Central Cast 61-44 the win over the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. A tremendous season here from top to bottom with all these players. Tip of the cap to Sam Kovervig, to Mason Bussey, and to Owen Wiersma here, the three seniors for the Central Cast Squirrels. In his 8th season for Matt Norman, they are able to cut down the nets here inside the Bismarck Event Center. Central Cast 61, the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks 44. Central Cast now 26-0 on this season, while the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks will finish 22-5 here on the year. It's the Central Cast Squirrels and the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks here in this one, as that was going to be a good one here in this one. On behalf of Bryce Laxdal, on behalf of everybody back at our crew, make sure, again, if you missed any of our coverage, go to yourliveevent.com for all the Thompson Tommy games, all these Central Cast Squirrels games here. Jay Bachman is here. He's able to, get some fist pumps and high fives, and you see a lot of fans here for Central Cast as well. Thanks again for tuning in. The Squirrels win and bookend the B here in 2023. Central Cast wins their 3rd state championship and their first in 55 years here in Bismarck. On behalf of our entire crew at R&J Broadcasting and Halstead Telephone Company, I'm Chase Miller from Bismarck. Good night from the capital city.